bastard sermon. You motherfuckers.
I tricked him. Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Patrick Sata.
And Luke Young.
I gave him so much time to get it out, and he didn't do anything. I waited until he hit the bowl, and then I was like, all right, while he's hitting the bowl, there's nothing they could say. Well, I mean...
Hey, that's just like my signature thing now.
The tobacco
like
bowl.
the big cheese, except for I'm the big interrupter.
Yeah, great interrupter.
The great one.
Who's going to interrupt your intros when you start doing Cringe Corner for Patreon?
I don't know. I was actually, before the episode started, but we didn't have a lot of time, I wanted to ask you, because I want to get Audacity and all that stuff figured out tomorrow, I think. I'm going to dedicate some time to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I fuck up everything, so it's the Cringe Corner for a reason, bro.
Wait, you're going to edit your own podcast? Like, I want to figure
it all out. I'd like to try to.
Oh, they're figuring out a way to fire me. I've been such a dick recently that Pat's like, I'm going to learn how to do Audacity, and then we'll cut Cody right out of this mix.
What's that, Cody? You're saying you're spending all night editing? We'll see about that.
Well, so I noticed that the audio for last week's episode for the guest, for Substantial, and for you guys is pretty low, and that might be because I didn't take as long editing it as I should have. I just kind of threw it together.
What? You just shit out 4 podcasts for me to put up on Patreon without putting any work into them at all? What?
Can we get into this?
It was very little work
between Luke and Cody here.
There's no beef, but there very easily could have been if Luke wasn't as used to taking a punch right in his penis hole as he is, because I was
patient?
Complete douchebag to Luke. I was, it was rough. I should have been less mean to you, buddy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, break it down. Break down from your perspective what happened. I feel like this is your story to tell and shit all over me for.
All right, so listeners, if you guys listen to last week's episode at the end there, I talk about how our Patreon is now made, but nothing is posted yet, and it'll be shared right before the episode drops, and it's gonna be a week because there's some things to figure out. And like the very next morning, Cody's like, I can't find our Patreon. I'm like,
I couldn't. I was like, where's the Patreon?
Man, I'm sorry, but let me look into that. Let me try to solve this issue. Who the fuck? Why would you make a Patreon and no one can find it? I'm like, all right, dude, I don't know. Like, this is new to me. I've never made a Patreon before.
Hold on, wait.
Give me 10 minutes.
No,
stop right there.
Luke talk.
I'm doing some dishes right now. I will get to it in a moment. I didn't say I had dishes. I said I got shit to do right now.
I thought he was taking dabs and doing acid with his dog or something. I didn't know what he meant by just jerking off on his bed.
And this dude starts just clapping at me as if I stole his child from him and like was sending him ransom pictures. He's like, "Fuck you, Luke! Like I gave you 4 podcasts to put up on Patreon last night. Why aren't they up?" Also, just 10 minutes prior, saying like, "Don't post anything on Patreon at all until someone starts subscribing."
I don't know how Patreon works.
And then he immediately transitions to, why isn't it uploaded? Why isn't it on Patreon yet? Why isn't it done?
Except for it was paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs.
You're retarded. You're stupid. You don't know shit. That's why no one loves you.
Just like all the effort he took to typing that, he probably could have paid the Patreon up himself,
Yeah.
But
and I sent email with 4 sentences, and I got an email back 15 minutes later saying, "Hey, it's done, changed."
I had some decent jokes in there though, right? There was a couple funny things that I said.
I think a lot of it pretty cruel.
Yeah, a lot of it was some douchebaggery.
I think the best joke was mine because you're trying to blame me for us not being successful, and I said,
"You're
sorry,
not sitting.
You're not eating corn chips in Daddy Stanhope's fucking lap yet." But
that was a good
not
one.
on me.
Because you're not famous from a Midwestern podcast. It might take a little time, Cody. Yeah, I was having a bad day, and I told Mansfield, you guys always call me the bastard that's most likely to smoke crack, so I told Mansfield, it was like, yeah, that guy, turns out he isn't so well balanced all the time, is how it turns out. And I'm sorry, genuinely, and I've said it to you already, but I wanted to say it on the air, because I feel like I was a real douchebag to you. And
Fuck your sorries, Cody. This is
you
why I'm learning
sure
Audacity. To kick your ass out.
You know how many people I have to say
But I'm
sorry
cool,
to
but
on a
I'm
regular
cool.
basis because of the way that I act?
Oh, no joke, dude.
I'm a
All the
disgusting
times
person.
you've just had a good night drinking, us just drinking, and the next day you'd send me this massive apology, and it happened like every time we hung out. It's just like, what?
I don't know, because I
Maybe
would just
maybe
flash
that's
back to
why
me saying
no one's
horribly
like,
dumb shit the next day, and I'm like, oh god, what did I do?
I don't know. I think that's why no one has really tried to stage like an intervention for you, because you're just nice as fuck when you're drunk. Like I've had nothing but delightful ass times with drunk Cody, just for him to like message me the next day like, I'm so sorry, like don't
All
hate
the
me. And,
time.
like, dude, you were a delight. I loved you. Thank you. Like
It's
you
the
brought my
morning guilt.
confidence up. Like,
It's I don't know what it is. The morning guilt just gets me. I'm like, I know I did something bad.
like,
That's-
fuck, I'll take drunk Cody over sober.
you did get sober. Cody was the one that went off on you. That's the. I don't even know if I was
Virtually
hungover. I don't have
sober
any
Cody.
excuses other than I was having a shitty day and I took it out on you. I don't know. I just got frustrated over the dumbest thing. Because from my angle, I was like, the podcast, Patreon should have been up 3 years ago. Instead of being like, he finally figured out. I'm so happy he did it. He's using his bank account to do that.
It's done.
It's very nice of him, and now we can actually share it. And you did have a plan, like and you laid the whole plan out for me on the last episode. Like told everybody, the listeners, and I was just scooba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo while you were talking plans. Like there's a little monkey with cymbals crashing the cymbals together in my head, and there's fucking little army men walking back and forth, and just everything but paying attention to the plan that you had laid out. And then the day that it's supposed to come out, I'm like, where is it? I tried, because I saw that you posted the link in the chat, and I was like, let me just go to Patreon, see how easy it is for people to find us. Because I noticed that it was like Patreon / what is it, TBS Pod. So
That's what it was at first. It's changed.
okay, great, because that was one of my things. Because I went there and I typed in the Bastard Sermon, nothing. And I was like, wait, maybe it's TBS, nothing. And it was like TBS Pod, and I was like, still nothing. I was like, where is our podcast? Is it not up? And I clicked the link, and it went there, and it said TBS Pod, but I couldn't search it. And I was like, why would you call it the name that isn't the podcast that nobody's going to type in? And then I started getting more frustrated because I was having a bad day, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then Luke figures it out, and he was like, oh, after a quick, simple Google search that you could have done, Cody, found out it's because I selected the We Make Adult Content box. So which I immediately am like, why are we doing that? And I go to Patreon, and I type in the most absurd name for a podcast that I know and listen to, Cumtown. And I'm like, you're telling me the fucking Cum podcast it doesn't, you can find that in a search, and they don't have the check mark for adult content. So why are we doing that? What do we say the F word every once in a while? Like, we don't do anything crazy.
Well, see,
what are we
I-
doing
my
that's so
defense-
nutty?
in my defense, it is.
Shut
it
up,
was
Patrick. We're trying to get on
completely-
Patreon.
It was completely logical to mark the adult content box.
Yeah.
So I did.
Totally appropriate. Totally fucking appropriate.
But also, you could. Our name was still the Bastard Sermon, though you couldn't search it. The URL was just patreon.com/TBS pod. But you had made such a big fucking deal from the whole thing. I was like, I'm changing even the URL. Like, even the URL was changed. So, listeners, if you were using the URL from last episode, it's not the same. It's now patreon.com/the Bastard Sermon. That's what it is now. And you can still find us by searching the Bastard Sermon on Patreon.
Thanks, Luke. And all it took was an hour of berating you and treating you like a complete subhuman. There was, I
it was
think,
like a bomb dropped in the chat room when I opened it up. I was like, oh no.
there's body parts
I'm getting
scattered
messages
everywhere.
from both of you. Like, I'm not crazy, right? You're both saying, I'm not crazy, right? And I'm like,
He's
dude,
trying to. Pat was such a
figure it
diplomat.
out.
We were
Why don't
both
you guys
individually
figure it
messaging
out?
Pat like, fuck him, and you're like, nah, fuck him, and then Pat's just caught in the middle. Like, I just want to keep doing a podcast with my friends. Why are they being mean to each other? You were being so
say
diplomatic. You're like, I
sorry.
could see both sides. Cody, maybe don't call people retarded. I don't know that that's how we get anything done. And Luke, he's right. It is 3 years late.
that was the straw. You could have went on your whole bitch fit, and I would have rolled it right off my shoulders. Like, listen to this little girl, but you call me retarded, and that's like the bull seeing the color red in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Is that your trigger word, dude?
Motherfuckers don't call me retarded. Yeah, dude,
well,
because I know
he
I'm
said
retarded.
it in the worst way,
Like,
too, Luke.
That's
I know
why.
I'm retarded. I went to a stupid fucking school that didn't teach me shit when it came to math, and that's how I judge
Yeah,
fucking
blame
IQ
the school.
levels. Is if you're good at math. So
Yeah, blame the school,
yeah.
Luke. It's all the school's fault you're dumb.
it is the school's fault.
Yep. It's the school's fault that I have alcohol problems, and it's the school's fault that I smoke cigarettes, and it's
Oh no,
I'm-
no!
It's the school's fault that I get too angry.
You were an asshole that day. It was
No,
my,
Luke, by
it's
your
the
logic,
school's
it's the
fault that I'm
school's fault.
stupid.
There was one. I swear to God, I had one funny joke in this after I figured out that you couldn't be and I was like, so Luke, you're telling me that two Russian dudes with separate keys have to put a key into a device simultaneously and click it over, and then they've got to type in a URL perfectly, and then they're able to finally give us That wasn't the whole thing. I'm not going to scroll through our whole chat.
Because it was dumb and it was mean still.
It was still mean, but I thought it was funny. I was like, this will lighten it up. And then I just scroll back, and I was like, there's probably no lightening this up. I've gone a little overboard.
You took, I remember he wanted an apology, and you read it, and you just didn't respond for like 2 days almost.
It wasn't 2
I
days.
was like, is he going to do it?
It was an hour. I was doing stuff.
Yeah, you had shit to do.
I was doing stuff around the house.
No,
So, Luke,
it's all good, though.
Luke-
I mean, it's just shit happens.
yeah, on to a different, let's shit on Luke again. All this shitting on me hurts, and I don't like it. Let's go back to Luke.
All this shit on me. Wow, wait a whole week to fucking make fun of you.
Mansfield hit me up, and he was like, I'm so happy that Pat and Luke are finally actually talking real shit to you and not just like, Cody's a bitch. And I was like, I like that too, because now people aren't just going to be sick of it. You guys have real reasons to not like me. Use those. Use those reasons.
He
You don't have
messaged
to-
us too. He messaged us. He was like, Cody is a actual gold mine of shit talk. Like, there's so much shit you could talk about him. Like, there's an endless resource.
You barely
right
got to
there,
take a
man.
quick look at him, you know? You blink, and you already got a whole dictionary worth of shit to say.
Yeah, dude. But back to roasting Luke. Luke, your closet has looked the same for every Patreon. I'm sorry, for every podcast we've ever
Why
done.
would I touch it?
With
Why would
zero
I touch
effort.
it?
All you have
Put
to
a
do is
towel over
you
it.
can throw a towel over that to make us not
Get a
rip on you
towel.
every time. It
That's
would be so preventable you getting ripped on. Pat, what did my bed? Look at my bed behind me.
I watched Cody. All right. Luke, you're totally right on the whole thing that Cody was saying earlier, but I got to say this. You got to put a towel over that bitch.
Look, he's
I watched
throwing a
Cody
jacket
make
over
his
it.
bed.
Get a picture of this,
jacket.
please, Pat,
He's-
please.
He's throwing a little tiny jacket over this monstrous pile of fucking shit.
Luke, it's way too late. It's way, dude. He's he's got the tiniest towel over it.
That's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, Luke's legitimately frustrated. But yeah, what did you see me?
That is so stupid.
That was perfect picture time, Patrick. Come
yeah,
on.
that's what I told him. I said take a picture. No, but
I was probably one of the funniest things I ever saw for a moment there, and I just could not process life.
You took the
little
tiniest
fucking
jacket.
over this mountain of fucking shit. Oh
just-
my god,
tossed it over your hoard.
you were really struggling to put it on there too.
Yeah, dude. And I fucking
Oh my god,
dude, Pat. I was like, hold on, Pat. I'm not gonna be able to hear you. I gotta make my bed so I don't get ripped on for having I rip on Luke so much for that hoarded closet behind him that he just refuses to do anything about. And he'd be playing catch with his dog, which always distracts the shit out of me. I'm like, I just see him throwing a bone behind his head, and a dog just jumping up into the air and catching it over and over again. It's the only time you see the dog. You need to zoom your webcam out so everybody can. He's frozen. What happened?
on
He's still
this
there?
face.
You want to see him?
Yeah, dude. Show us Den.
Come on.
Is this Den?
Come here, Dan.
Is it named after Dende?
He won't stand up.
Where did you get the name Den
It's
from?
named after the dog in Full Metal Alchemist.
The one that turns into the girl? Luke, you're a sick fuck.
This makes a lot of sense.
He's the dog in their hometown. He's the country farm dog who is missing an arm.
Oh, I don't remember that dog.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Are you talking about the original Full Metal, or are you talking about Brotherhood? Because I only watched Brotherhood.
Den is in both, actually. He's the dog. He's the black dog with white on his nose and chest, and he has a auto male dog arm.
True shit.
Dude, this makes me think of Mandalorian. You guys saw a new episode, didn't you?
Of course we saw
Yes.
it, Patrick. We wouldn't come to this episode
Can we talk
unprepared.
about this?
By the time we talk about this and people get it, the episode after this episode will have came out. But we're talking about Ahsoka shows up. Michael Bihn's in it. Like the very first episode that Ahsoka's in is one we're talking
Yeah.
about. By the time people hear this, they're going to think that we're talking about the episode that was released Friday.
That was
No,
episode
we're-
5.
We
right?
record on
it was
Tuesday.
The Jedi. The episode The
I'm just
Jedi.
clarifying for people listening because our
Yeah.
schedule's 5 days out from when we drop, from when we record.
So I'm new to the whole Clone Wars shit, but I've been watching, I've been catching up, and I'm really
Good.
getting into the Star Wars universe. But I got to say, like, having Ahsoka in this whole fucking episode was really fucking cool. I don't even know much
Yeah.
about the character, and she was fucking awesome.
It was phenomenal.
It was great.
She's the best character and best thing to come out of Clone Wars.
She's
she was a
Anakin's
badass.
apprentice. Yeah, she was.
Dude, she was like fighting off all these, like, spoiler alerts, by the way, if you don't fucking already know. But I remember when she was like going, they're all the whole fucking enemy team was like going after her, you know, and she just jumped over the rooftops, and I knew it was over as soon as they all got separated in those fucking corridors between the houses, you know. I was
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
she can't face you all at once, but she's gonna slaughter you when it's just a couple of you at a time, you know. I was like, this is badass. Whoever wrote this episode is badass.
Yeah.
Luke,
Yeah.
I wanted to clarify something with you because I didn't finish watching Rebels and I haven't got through all of Clone Wars. I've seen a bunch of it, but I've never
Okay.
fully got. I know what happens at the end of Rebels, so spoilers for Pat. Sorry, bud, but I need this clarified for me. Rebels takes place in between episode 3 and 4, right? That's correct, isn't it?
Rebels, yes, takes place between 3 and 4.
Okay, and that's Grand
And then
Moff Tarkin
in the later
and
s-
Ezra
in the later
Bridger.
seasons, it's during 4.
Okay. But it doesn't go anywhere
Really?
beyond 4. So the Mandalorian's time frame is after the Empire Falls. It's like
After
20.
6.
It's 5
It's-
years
it's
after
tw-
Return of the Jedi.
By this point, we're probably like 10 years out, right? Or something like I don't fucking know. Whatever
I
it
bet
is.
it's like close
But
to
it's
that. But
it's after
right around
episode
that.
6. It's after Return of the Jedi, and it's
Right.
before The Force Awakens. And it's in that in-between part. So what I'm confused about is, doesn't Ahsoka get killed by Darth Vader? This is the spoiler, by the way, Pat. Doesn't Ahsoka get killed by Darth Vader in Rebels at the Sith Temple and then gets resurrected by Ezra using the Force magic or whatever?
Yes, Ezra resurrects her.
But she
through,
isn't really resurrected, is she?
Yes.
Oh,
You
okay.
just saw her, bro.
In the second, or
Come in.
actually, it might have been the third or the end of the third season, or in the fourth season of Rebels. She's like,
Hello.
It's my mom. Say hi to the
Oh my
listeners,
God,
Mom.
it's Cody's
Hi.
mom.
How you doing?
Talking to the mic. We're talking Star Wars.
Oh, like the Mandalorian?
Yeah, talking to the
Yeah,
That's
which one's your favorite?
Can you hear him?
I can't hear him.
Hold on here. There you go. You gotta put it in
Wait,
your ear. You know how
what-
headphones work.
Without interruption, what is your favorite Star Wars movie and why, real quick? Or who's your favorite character?
Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and Chewie.
And Chewie?
and Chewie. And I like the Mandalorian a lot.
yeah.
Damn
The
good.
child.
Oh, yeah.
Grogu.
Grogu?
Or Grogan or whatever.
Yeah,
Grogu.
digging that little kid that shut the bassinet that time when he was going to kill that guy. I loved it.
Yeah.
You should come on a full episode sometime.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, that's it. Next
My mom
episode.
got me into Star Wars. She showed me the first 3 movies. She was a big fan of it.
Yeah,
All right, I love you, Mom.
love you. Mm.
Take it
Bye,
easy.
Oh, I
guys.
got the kiss on the recording. Oh,
Yep.
man.
Bye, Mom. Thanks for stopping by. I love
What a
you.
Kodak moment.
Sorry to interrupt the podcast.
So
I love my
sweet,
mom, though.
Cody.
She's great. She showed me Star Wars. But keep
No, you're
going, Luke.
fine.
Sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
So it's either in 3 or 4 of Rebels where Ezra finds a Sith temple or a Jedi temple. It's a temple period that has these portals that basically can let you travel through time to very important moments.
Using space
Uh,
magic.
Basically, yeah.
It's like
And
the
so
most
he-
fantasy
They're like
part
Doctor
of Star
Strange.
Wars, like ever that's
Yeah,
ever
he-
been put out.
Yeah, absolutely, it is for sure. And he finds the portal of the fight you're talking about, where she's fighting Darth Vader to the death on a Sith temple planet, and he reaches in through the portal and grabs her and pulls her through at the moment of the explosion and collapse. So he saves her, and then while he and her are running away from a really weird Force storm version that Palpatine is sending after them, he shoves her through another time portal that basically just dropped her back on the Sith planet where she would have died, just in current time.
Okay, so she's good then. I'm so fucking
It's
lost.
confusing. Yeah.
It's like
he
said okay.
So he's in current time. He went to the past and
Grabbed Ahsoka,
brought
saved her
her
from
to
Darth
the
Vader.
time. Yes, brought her to the current time, but then put her through another portal that sends her to a distant planet still in the current time.
Why? Why did he do that though? To protect her from Darth Vader?
Yeah, to keep her from dying, yeah.
So, do you think that distant planet is the one that she's shown living on in Mandalorian Episode 5?
It could
No.
be, right?
It's not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I
so
don't know what that temple is, but I think if anything, she might be talking about Ezra.
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw this.
I thought so too at the when it was like wait and see
That,
if
they had that cat.
but I'm
that cat was running
conflicted.
around. Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember that has something to do with it. I was looking up online. And I was like, so Ezra is like a big thing that
Well,
could happen.
there's if you watch Rebels, there's a cat. It's the low something. It's from his planet. It's the name of his planet, Cat. And whenever it shows up, something important in the Force is happening, and he has like some sort of vision or goes on some sort of like important quest. And yeah, so fingers crossed.
Okay,
I hope it's
more-
Ezra because he was the Jedi brought up out after the Order was fallen. He was already a teenager. He lost his parents. He was trained by both a Jedi and Darth Maul. So he knows how to fight against feelings of hatred that are already there and instilled that the Jedi teachings
and you
wouldn't
know
be able to do.
He was
or
on his-
Grogu, I think he would be able to do for him.
And you know that all that's like accurate too, because Darth Maul's around with the Han Solo movie.
Fuck
so
that.
obviously, I'm just saying,
Fuck
like
that.
it's all
Who
like
cares about that?
linked together, and so it totally makes sense if they brought this one character back. It's gonna
Darth
makes
Maul's
Disney, like,
story-
so much money at the same time.
Rebels ended
Darth-
Darth Maul's story beautifully.
Yes.
They did
Yes,
that
Rebels
great.
ended Darth Maul.
Yeah, and he's done. He's forever done. Kenobi
He's
kills
dead.
him on Tatooine, and it's you're expecting this big giant epic battle, and he just very gracefully destroys Darth Maul because it shows that he's like an actual
Yeah.
full-fledged Jedi master. That's like
That's not it. You know why? You know why he killed him
Why?
so fast? Because
Because
if
he's
you
quick.
pay attention, and there's a YouTube video, there's many that break it down and show it side by side. Darth Maul used the same fighting technique on Obi-Wan that he used to kill Qui-Gon. So he saw it
yeah.
firsthand, sitting there meditating. He watched that technique and move, kill his master, and not just being a full-fledged Jedi Knight and knowing that, like he was able to counter it and
Dude, Maul's
destroy
such a stupid
immediately.
bitch.
so it's
for
seared
doing
into
that.
his memory for forever.
It's poetic. It's
Yeah.
poetic. Yeah, it's incredible.
it's
That
stupid.
whole scene was beautiful.
they
No, it's
end
not
Maul's
stupid.
story.
No, I'm not saying the story's stupid, but Darth Maul's stupid. You think the one move that would stick in the other Jedi's mind when you kill their masters to do it
Would be-
again.
yeah.
Dumb motherfucker. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I have more questions about the
characters get
Mandalorian that
killed.
I feel like only Luke's gonna be able to answer. So the lady that Ahsoka, the lady that's running the town, forget her name already, but did she have something to do with Clone Wars? Like, was she a character?
some-
With the
It was-
red hair.
whichever one
No,
got
the
killed,
bad
the one
guy with the Beskar staff.
yeah, with the Beskar spear that she has to kill, and you know what I'm
Oh,
talking?
that bitch, the evil bitch that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, who
chasing
knows
out.
about Thrawn
That-
or whatever?
That girl has of no importance.
Okay, just making sure because they set her backstory up like
No.
all of her family was killed,
No,
and I was like, is this some
no,
character?
fuck that bitch. The bitch who had the spear and was trying to get Mando to do all this shit. That girl had no.
Okay,
nothing.
I didn't know if she was like an old
But
character from Clone Wars
the
that they're
Mandalorian
resolving
with
something.
the red hair is the girl with the red hair. The Mandalorian with the red hair.
She's
she
part of
is.
Clone Wars.
She
or some
is
shit.
from Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, the one from the episode right before that, or 2 episodes before that, right?
Well, yeah, like when you see in Rebels, the last time you see the dark saber is with her.
yeah,
That's why her line in the episode was like, "It was once mine," was like, so, like, "Oh, there's even more of a tie-in, you know.
Well, I saw because I was
it's
the
really
whole time that I've been watching The Mandalorian, I've been like, why are they changing the way that the Mandalorians like operate? Like, are they making this lore?
that was my big question
And
too.
now that they're doing this season 2 where he encounters the other Mandalorians, and I didn't understand why he would never take his mask off, because I was like, they always had their fucking mask off. Like, it was only in battle. Like, I don't understand.
Because he's
This
ugly
is the
as
way.
fuck, bro.
Well, this is the way. None of that shit happened. They didn't act like primitive cavemen. I dug it. I thought it was cool, so I was willing to let it go. But it was always sitting in the back of my mind, like, are they just changing up Clone Wars and saying that Clone Wars isn't canon? And I was like, but it is canon. So what are they doing? And now they introduce the Mandalorians, and then they basically tell him that he's a part of a cult, that he was raised in a little cult, and he doesn't actually know what the way of Mandalore is. Yeah, it seems like a better version of the Mandalorians, because the Mandalorians are kind of hateable
Lots
a
of
little
banging.
bit. I mean, there's a reason the Jedi fucking went to go kill them all, right? Like
they were constantly at war. They're people who kill their own people all the time.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Didn't they
But
invent
they're
the dark
good as
saber?
shit at killing Jedis.
Well, they
Yeah, they
invented
are.
the dark saber
This last
because they were being
episode showed that.
overwhelmed by the Jedi, right? So they invented that to.
The dark saber was actually made by a Mandalorian Jedi in the new lore.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Is that in one of the books?
For
or is it
that
in a
reason,
graphic
was it
novel
for
or
that
something?
reason
It
to
was-
fight and compare
it's in-
against Jedi?
No, it's in Rebels that they explain the origins of the new dark saber origins, that it once belonged to the first Mandalorian Jedi who went back to unify his people. That's why it's used as like the leader of Mandalore uses this weapon. You know what I mean?
What finally happened to Mandalore?
The Great Uniter.
I forget. I don't remember. It's been so long, and this lore
If
goes
you
so deep.
watch, if you watch the last season of Clone Wars that was added only and exclusively on Disney Plus when it dropped, you can find out that Mandalore was then taken over by the Empire through manipulation, and then the red-haired girl, I keep blanking on her fucking name,
We all know
but the
who you're talking
red-haired
about.
girl that was, yeah, you know her from Mandalorian, and Ahsoka, and I think Anakin stepped in at some point, but those two helped take Mandalore back, or at least try. And they also took down Maul again.
Right on. So, but they say in the new episode that or not the new episode, the episode a couple back, that Mandalore is a cursed planet, that anybody that goes back there dies instantly now. Like, why is that?
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore.
I don't
you
know
can't go
about
back to
that, yeah.
Mandalore. They said that in that episode where they
It might be
moved
new canon shit.
Yeah,
for all we know.
I mean, like, I don't know why it's been like that. Who was the one who said that too?
I thought it was the blacksmith
No, the
that
one.
said something like that.
No, it's Mando. It's Mando. Does he have a name, by the way? Does
Well,
he have
maybe
a fucking?
It's Din
maybe-
Djarin or something.
Well, maybe Mando was maybe that's another cult lie. It was like, don't ever go to Mandalore. Like, that place is death. You know.
True shit.
So, did you guys see all that bullshit social justice shit, which was going all up against Baby Yoda eating that frog lady's eggs?
That
You guys
was
see all
the
that
dumbest
shit?
I've ever seen in my
So
entire
dumb.
life. I was like, how fucking woke do you got to be to believe that he's committing genocide? It's like he's just eating
They're like
fish
little
eggs.
chicken
Shut
eggs.
the fuck up. dude.
Yeah.
I guess you're committing genocide every time that you go to the fucking supermarket and eat anything except for lettuce. Like, just shut up.
It
People
just
are so
blows my mind
dumb.
that not only like there's just some people that think that, which I think is fucking bad shit, but there's enough of them to create an uproar where there's like news articles and shit about it, and it's like a fucking problem all of a sudden. Like, there's a lot of people that have a problem with Baby Yoda eating these stupid fucking eggs. It's just crazy.
What I thought was crazy was watching him pop that whole ass thing in his tiny ass mouth with like nothing being smeared around or
No
anything.
chewing.
Like, pop. Yeah.
Yeah, dude was fucking. He could have ate that whole thing. Where's he keeping it all?
I'm texting
Dude,
Nick.
I'm
I'm sorry
waiting
if I
for,
look
like-
distracted.
No, you're fine. I'm waiting for like season 4 of Mandalorian where fucking
He gets fat. Baby Yoda gets fat because he eats
no,
so
ba-
fucking much.
Grogu's now like a toddler, but he's actually, 150 years old, so he's just running around acting like a little shit.
Well, he's 50, right? They said that he's 50
what's
years
that
old right
fucking-
now.
What's that
Well, I just knew he
movie?
was old as fuck.
where this old lady pretends to be a little girl and like murders people.
Orphan.
Yeah, it's the orphan.
He's like the fucking orphan, I bet, where he's trying to
Yeah.
go around slaughter some people. You know, like I'll gain your trust, I'll eat all your food, but I'm gonna fuck up your whole world.
You know what though? I liked his origin, but I felt like the one I theorized a year and a half ago was like way better.
The Camino clone thing.
Yeah, man.
I thought that was genius. It made total sense. And then eventually they went into that. Actually, Nick was talking shit about this episode. I remember that. And it was about where I guess they went back to their original town where they had all the bounty hunters and shit,
Yeah.
or whatever. And they go into the that Empire place and they found out they're trying to make Jedi clones or Sith warrior clones.
I
and
think
shit.
those
And I'm
were
like,
clones of the Palpatine. I think that's what
Empire.
that was.
yeah, and I'm
yeah.
just like, dude, we were so close. Like when we all talked about that last time, we were really close. You know,
Yeah.
we were really close to what was going on there.
I
They were
guarantee-
using Baby Yoda as like the clone, like pathogen.
But
mixture.
now
That
we
was a-
have to think about this though. So like if those are failed Palpatine clones and they need more baby blood to make Palpatine, Palpatine was obviously brought back to life in the new trilogy. Is the Empire gonna get young baby and drain all his blood to make Palpatine?
That's
Or
what
are
I've
they
been-
Here's what they're gonna
find a
do.
new
Well,
source?
They're
because
gonna have
what
Baby
happens
Yoda.
to baby?
they
They're
need
gonna
to
have
get
Baby
rid of
Yoda and then
those three
Baby
movies.
Palpatine. That's
No,
the whole thing. It's a Disney merch thing, dude. I'm telling you, it's deep state Disney. All right, they're gonna have this Baby Yoda and make billions of dollars off of it. Then they're gonna be like, you know
Deep
what? We
state
bring Palpatine back, but this time, Baby Palpatine.
I am the Senate.
You know, they're gonna make billions
Huh.
off that, dude.
Pat, you're smacked.
God damn it.
Stupid.
They're not gonna do that. If they do that, I swear to God, I'll light the mouse on fire myself. If they, oh my God, I would be so heated if they just like, they need to just throw away all the new trilogy and just be like, hey, John Favreau, please just write the new.
He
Can
should
you
be
just do
like
it?
the Kevin
And we'll let George
Feige.
Lucas do it. Just don't tell anyone at like I'm Mickey Mouse. Ha ha. We're gonna give you George, but you can't tell anyone. Ha ha. And then just let him fucking. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of all of those and tell them that I don't know Sony did it. Ha. But yeah, they can easily make those not canon anymore. They could just do it. People fucking hate those
they can
movies.
just do like
I
that.
hate them.
The movies
so
are garbage,
fucking
and
much.
you don't
They're
need those
so
movies.
bad.
They're trash, and I'm
Dude,
sorry
those new movies
that
are
people are
shit.
gonna feel bad because fucking whatever Leia's name, thank God she's dead, is gone.
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, whatever.
She was not a good actress, dude. And I
worst
stand by
actress of
that.
all time.
Dude, that was like some of the driest, shittiest acting I've ever seen. And I was like, this is in Star Wars? I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of shitty acting in Star Wars, but I'm lost in the universe where I don't care. This took me out of that.
'Twas
It
whack.
was that bad.
But I don't. Everybody's gonna be like, "Well, we can't redo it with Carrie." Well, then don't. You didn't need to bring those characters.
We don't
back.
want her back.
They
It's
already
over.
their story's been concluded. You didn't have to show me them old and make
Goodbye.
it sad.
I
You
don't
didn't
know.
have to
I
murk
don't
Han
know.
Solo. You could have told me that he was dead.
You
but
tell me
you
Carrie
could have
Fisher
just
was a
been
good
like, he's
actress?
long gone. Like
No, I'm not
He's
saying
off
she
on
was
a
a good
secret
actress,
mission.
but to say that they could have like done it without him entirely is like I don't know because I feel like I've gone on this rant before, but they threw out like 20 years of written like work that they could have based their new trilogy on, and it would have been successful, and it would have made loads of money if they just made the movie like page for page.
I
But
stand.
instead, they were like, "I'm gonna put out new ideas." I think people would have liked the new EU. You know, the new EU is like, fucking Luke has a new Jedi Order. He doesn't keep them from marrying and fucking. They're allowed to have children. He has a whole new ass council. His children are on it. Fucking Leia and Han's children are on it. The twins are. The other one's in the military. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they went that route and had a whole new young cast and just had the adults do their thing and then eventually die off or whatever. But, like, I don't know.
You know, have you read the script of, I think of what it was the Duel of Fates, which was supposed to be like what the new trilogy was? Like not like originally, like George
Yeah, it had Darth
Lucas
Maul. They
had
were
his
gonna
own
bring
thing
him
where
back
Darth
as
Maul was
the
gonna be the
new-
new main
yeah.
bad guy or whatever. But it
Uh,
actually, I remember when we talked about that. But there was like a script for the Duel of Fates, and I remember reading it. I don't remember who wrote it. I don't remember the whole thing, but I remember that's what they were originally going to do until Disney meddled with so much. And if you get a chance, go and Google Duel of Fates script, new series of Star Wars or whatever, new trilogy or whatever. You'll see this stuff, and it's a fucking kick-ass story, man. I just wish they had so many opportunities to do it well.
Yeah.
Just they fucked up, man.
I don't know.
There was a lot of cool
They-
moments, but it doesn't outweigh the shitty.
It could have been all right.
Like the story.
They could have been an
Yeah.
all right trilogy had the fucking whatever the middle one's called. Had that one not came out, what happened was the original director he either got Me Too'd or somebody said something about him.
Me Too
on
from,
Twitter.
Tweets 10 years ago.
It wasn't even a Me Too. It wasn't like a rape thing. He said some like borderline
It's cancel
racist,
culture.
whatever. Yeah, cancel culture hit him up, and then Disney was like, "Oh fuck! I mean, we got to go along with this because we're Disney and we got to keep making $1 trillion every year." So they've fired him, and then they hired purposely overly woke director. And I don't want to. Let me make this real clear. I'm not like
J.J.
against
Abrams?
your woke movement. I'm not for the right shit. I know that whenever somebody says that, you're like, they're right wingers. No, I don't care at all. I just don't like overly anything. Like I don't want it. The overly woke shit cancels all the shit that I like laughing at. And they're like, I can't make fucking jokes anymore. And I'm like, I don't believe.
Cody was
that's
really
dumb.
upset about Bill Cosby, is what he's trying to say. He was really upset with how that
Yeah.
turned out.
No, I don't support the fucking rapist. Shut up, Pat.
I don't know, man. That's not what I've heard.
You don't
from
know? Come on.
That's what I haven't heard from you.
The mics are on now. Pat.
I've heard you talk about Bill Cosby quite a lot, and it really, you know what? I got to say something. I think we need an intervention. Dude. Enough with the Bill Cosby. Can you please
That's
stop?
all the listeners laughing. Pat, you're so funny. All right.
Anyways,
All right. Yeah, so they went super duper woke because they were like, we're going to show him how fucking not whatever he said we are. Right? So they hired them and they're like, we're going to make this fucking like purple hair bitch the thing, and we're going to make Luke look like he's a bitch. And then the director of the movie, like after it came out and they got shitted on for doing all that stuff and making it terrible, showing like him drinking fucking alien dick milk or whatever it was, and it's coming down his
what
chin.
the fuck was that?
And he's just a sad baby
Yeah, that
of
was
a
so
character.
fucking gross.
And they ruined Luke Skywalker. And even Mark Hamill is literally, you could see him in every interview that they forced him to go on, biting through his lip, trying to not shit all over and just talking about, I fundamentally disagree with everything they did to my character and fucking all this other stuff that he just
he just
you can
flashes
watch,
to that milk scene, and he's like,
oh, motherfuckers.
he
Because
just
they
got
ruined
nothing to
it.
say.
They
You
ruined
know?
one of the
Like, it's
greatest.
great.
They ruined one of the greatest characters of all time, and then killed him off like he was nothing, and then made it about this Ray bitch that you don't really care about yet, which you could have eventually cared about, but not after you ruined fucking Luke Skywalker. You're out in my book. You're done. I don't care. Like they gave the next movie back to the guy that got fucking thrown out of it, but it was too late, and he fixed a lot of stuff. That's why it's the best one out of the trilogy. I feel like if they
Which
could have
one?
let him do the whole fucking thing. Who was the guy that directed it? Was it Zack Snyder or some shit? Who was
The
it?
first
J.J.
one was
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah,
he did the
J.J.
third one too.
Yeah, that's
which
what I'm
was
saying.
The shittiest one.
Yeah, but so the director
True.
for the second one, what's that one called, Luke?
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, so the director of The Last Jedi, when that came out, and all the hardcore fans that have supported, thrown their money at this series, kept websites going, that keeps this thing alive, that gave this man a job, he literally called them man babies and fucking said that they're just mad because there's a woman in
he
charge
lost
now,
his
and it's
shit.
like,
He
no,
had a temper
dude, you
tantrum.
did a
He still
terrible,
does.
you did a
But you know what he
garbage
kind of did?
job.
He did this. He did the same thing that happened to Game of Thrones. You know, like they just wanted to exceed your expectations so much that it didn't make sense what the hell they were doing. They were just going to do it because they knew, oh, no one would guess that this is going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like killing off Snoke or whatever. They could have really it's just like this bullshit. Like, remember all these characters, this big bad that you've been thinking about for the past couple years in that last movie? Well, he doesn't mean shit.
You guys are forgetting the Fortnite flop.
What's that? What are you talking
Fortnite
about?
flop.
No one fucking knew Palpatine was gonna be in this last movie at all.
I agree with that.
At
And
all.
they could have set it up
in
in
Threw it
the
in last minute or
intro
something.
credits. In the intro credits, it just goes, "There was a message sent across the galaxy that Palpatine's back." When?
It was baby
and check
Palpatine.
it out. Check it out. They did it on Fortnite. There was a Star Wars special
Oh my god.
on Fortnite where Palpatine spoke over the radio wave saying he was back, and that's how
Totally.
they announced it. His return into
Wait,
Star
are you
Wars.
serious? They did
I
this?
did it-
remember that.
I
They did it in
swear
Fortnite?
to fucking
He's
God,
right.
Cody, they did it on Fortnite.
How
I have
fucking
this
dare
IGN
they?
app.
How
I have this
They did it
IGN.
on Fortnite.
Dare they?
Yeah. He's telling the truth.
Fortnite is now Star Wars canon.
It's also on fucking Marvel, by the way, because that's what Thor
I'm
was
welling up
playing.
with tears. I'm
It's so
like
dumb.
my eyes are filling with tears right now What are you talking about? Why would they do this? Those fucking
Because
they're
it's so
just
popular with younger kids.
no, they're
you
cash
know?
whores. They just like
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally cash whores.
for money. Like just it doesn't like just as much money. I don't care. I'll ruin everything just for another $1. What? Oh, it's gonna make $1 million more than the last one. Whatever you want me to do. Big corporate penis.
They turned
instead
it. They did what they did with to Star Wars. What they did with Avengers. Like merchandise it. Avengers is supposed to be merchandised because that's what it has always been. But Star Wars was like a new age Shakespearean type of film almost, where it's the story of a coming of age film, where a lost boy who doesn't know his background finds out what it is and tries to fulfill it, only to be let down of the true origins of his father, and then to come back in his own self-redeeming story to find himself, and
Yeah,
now
that makes
it's
sense.
like it's a formulaic 1 + 1 = 2 scenario type of film trilogy where it's like now there's pogs, so go buy pog merchandise.
Well,
and
actually,
there's gonna
can
be
I
other
interrupt?
merchandise and
I think it's kind of a little bit backwards there because I totally think Star Wars is all about merchandising. And that thing about I say that when you say the Pog thing or whatever they're
For
called.
sure.
was
There's
cheaper
elements
to
of it,
put
like
the
the Star
pods
Wars,
there.
yeah, but I don't think that was like his purpose of it.
True. I
I-
would say after the first one probably wasn't his purpose, but I would say everyone after that they had toys and toys and toys and toys and toys. It's like $1 billion industry because of that. But I would definitely say that everything you said about how deep and operatic the whole thing is 100% on cue. Totally, it is a beautiful story. It really is. But when it comes to the Pogs, though, as far as I've read, that they didn't expect it to be a huge hit because it was cheaper to get rid of they had puffins on the island where Luke was at, and it was cheaper to go over it with something else rather than to digitally delete them, from what I've read. And that's why
they're full of shit. It's not easier to fucking make a whole new thing that has to jump around and act like a creature than it is to fucking make it look like grass that's standing still. They're full of shit. They just wanted to sell you something. I think it was probably just as much work either
Totally
way.
both.
And they got a crazy animation studio that's being paid ungodly amounts of Disney money to get shit done for this movie. There's no other reason that those things are on there other than they wanted something cute that they could sell you. That's the whole fucking reason. I don't buy their explanations. I think they're full of shit.
Yeah.
It's the
I do,
same. It's
too.
just like what fucking George Lucas did with fucking Jar Jar Binks, and it failed, and that's their fault. But
Does it blow
I
your mind that
hold-
Jar Jar Binks did not actually die in anything, as far as I've heard, and he could still pop back up in the Mandalorian?
they know better. They know way fucking better.
Are you sure? Do they?
They know
I
better.
don't know.
They
That
know
dude-
better.
Jar Jar
I
Binks a
hope-
bomb
I hope
badge.
Jar Jar Binks killed himself. I hope he killed himself. You know
He hope he
why?
hung himself.
Because not only
'Cause he
was
backed
a
the fucking
hindrance
senator.
to the Jedi's, not only was he a hindrance in the war, exactly. He fucking let the fucking chancellor come in and become the emperor of the newfound empire.
He
Dude.
should be charged
And
with war
he
crimes.
He was the first one clapping, guy, in that whole fucking room, dude. That thunderous applause for the
You said
death
like
of
the end of
liberty
democracy.
started with the hands of a fucking retard Gungan. And everyone needs to know that, all right?
Dude, watch him come
I hope
back.
he killed himself.
Well, knowing Jon Favreau and how awesome he is, he knows exactly what people want to see. I bet if Jar Jar did come back, he'd kill his ass. He'd
A
fucking
new
bomb him,
trilogy.
dude.
It's a Jar Jar redemption story.
Yeah, it's a whole 40. It's an hour-long episode of Mandalorian. It's not even like their normal 30 minutes. It's an hour-long Jar Jar Binks redemption arc, and it's gonna be wonderful. And at the end, he bombs his ass.
I was gonna say on the new trilogy though, I think they could have been a good story if they just let J.J. Abrams do all three of them and they didn't fire him for a bullshit reason. I feel like that Palpatine shit may not have happened, and if they did, they would have set it up in the second movie because they had somebody else write that script,
Totally.
right? Like it wasn't for sure. They didn't have all the scripts
Snoke
written.
would have been.
J.J. Abrams
wouldn't have
didn't
been as
have-
important. I feel like
Abrams didn't have a terrible first movie. Force Awakens wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but I always
fun.
I looked at it as I looked at it as they're setting up a trilogy. It's not the best in the trilogy. It's not going to be my favorite, but maybe I'll love these characters by the end. So I cut it a assload of slack, and then they gave his story to another person and another writer to do something completely fucking different. And I feel like if he had the full trilogy to do his idea with his writer that it could have actually been done really well, but he didn't
No,
have
yeah.
that.
You're
and
right.
They botched it for dumb political reasons, stupid ass fucking like catering to cancel culture reasons, and it fucked the entire thing. And I don't think that should be the fans' fault, and they should have to deal with like the shitty Luke Skywalker ending. Like I just
They
don't.
took it too
um,
seriously, you know.
well,
Like there was
isn't
so
everybody
much
in
at
agreement?
stake socially, I guess.
No, I am. It's
Stupid.
because you're right. You know, he wrote the first film. They dicked him out on the second one, and then they brought him back for the third. I think in the third one, he had what was it, like 2 hours and some change to like shove in all of his movie ideas into this last film. You
They
know,
cut,
like
an
Finn
hour
at,
out of it. Or
Finn
something.
at the very end, like having like a weird force sensitivity. Like I feel like that probably would have been explained in the second one. Palpatine coming back would have been explained in the second one. Like, you know, Palpatine was never mentioned or brought up. He was brought up
Yeah.
in
Not even like
Fortnite.
a little
So
like,
if he didn't want to bring Palpatine back, he probably didn't have to. You know what I'm saying?
who asked for that too? No one. No one.
No,
Yeah, I'm sorry
no.
I got quiet. I was
Unless
looking
it's
it up.
baby Palpatine. I'm all about baby Palpatine. I'd buy the shit out of that
you.
merch, dude. I'd probably get a baby Palpatine tattoo.
Dude, they literally got rid of everybody
You
that
need
was.
to draw a baby Palpatine.
I am the Senate.
They got rid
Just
of
like
everybody
a
that
really
was.
small, mangled, ugly-looking fucking baby with like
I gotta make
the,
it cute.
the viscous veins and the cloak and everything. Like
The
yeah.
yellow eyes, the nasty fucking teeth. Ugh.
Draw it and give it to people on the Patreon.
Yeah, there you
Here's
go.
the baby Palpatine.
Subscribe. You get a. Let me write that down.
Unofficial
You're gonna get a baby
fucking-
Palpatine.
Yeah, dude, the drawing, and you get the high definition file and shit like that. You knock those drawings out, by the way. Where can people check your art out, Pat?
Oh, just go to my Instagram at Dark Mountain Cult.
I just
You go there. I make shirts and sometimes, but I do prints and commissions literally whenever.
you do
But I
type
have
pop
some
culture
shirts.
shit. It's got like the
Yeah, I like
geometric
pop
designs
culture
and
shit.
stuff.
But I also like really cool original stuff. You know, if you have a cool idea and you want to throw it my way, like I really want to draw some cool, interesting stuff. I like drawing pop culture stuff because I like fucking video games and anime and movies and shit. It's fun to draw. Makes me happy.
Have you been looking at the time lapses of your drawings since I showed you how to do that? Like,
No,
you-
not yet. I've been like unbelievably swamped all day, and I only get time to like basically every now and then I'll get to like couple. It takes me all day to draw one piece, you know. So I'm literally just chipping away at it as I'm just multitasking.
yeah, dude.
I'll
I
get
feel
into
you.
it though because I really want to try that out. I want to do like a really cool piece for it or something if I'm going to do a time lapse piece.
I mean, it's just 30 seconds. It's just more content for your page. I'm just
Totally.
curious to see your process on all the like how you do it, so that maybe I can rip off some of your tricks. Because I'm like,
Well,
how's he
here's how I
get
do
here?
it.
I'm like, is
Here,
he
let
doing?
me tell you real
Because I'm like,
quick.
do you
Let me
trace
tell
this
ya-
part? Do you have a stencil? What are you doing?
You
Like,
wouldn't be the first to steal his techniques.
I learn from
It's
other
all-
artists all the time. There's nothing wrong with taking other people's shit.
I'm seeing Patrick's technique done everywhere on my timeline now.
That makes
Yeah,
me
dude.
sick to my stomach.
Everywhere.
Does it make you sick?
But I'm glad I can
a
inspire.
diamond shape or a circle with like a simple.
I'm not trying to
design in the
steal
middle.
that. I'm trying to see how he does certain things so that I could do the work that I do a little
Well, let me
faster.
tell you, it's simple, man. I have a whole process to it. I mean, with my stencils, I don't really do that shit on the iPad when I do Procreate. I always used to do this through Sharpie only, like just Sharpie and a couple stencils I fucking bought at Michael's.
Right.
You know, so what I like a circle, a half circle, and then like some rulers sometimes, and then I had like this little stencil pad with a couple of shapes or whatever. And honestly, it just requires a little bit of, you just get some Bristol, you put it down, you pencil it all out, just kind of do like measure it out, make a little grid or something. I reuse backgrounds quite a lot because it's just a little bit easier for me, and it still looks cool.
Yeah.
But I'll make like new original backgrounds, and then I'll use an app on my phone called Cam Scanner. So I'll do it all in pencil, and if I like the shape, I'll just go over it with Sharpie, and I have fine tip Sharpie, and I have thicker Sharpies and whatnot, and then I'll shade in whatever I feel like, and then I'll take a picture with Cam Scanner, which is free. You can use this for bank apps and notary shit too, so it's really cool to have. I use it for art, and it makes things clean up really well. I recommend it to any artist. And you can send it as a PDF, PNG, TIFF, JPEG, and it can be printed on any size without losing quality. It's fucking awesome. Use Cam Scanner. So I take a picture with that. It scans the images, makes it really clean, makes the white background just really pop. You don't see any like marks or smudges. You can clean all that off. And then I'll send it to myself in an email, and I'll go onto my iPad, and then I will put it on my iPad. I'll just put that picture over it, and sometimes I'll go over the lines that I drew with the Procreate Apple Pen. Does this all make sense so far?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It probably
so I'll
doesn't
go over
dilute
with the
'cause he
Apple
does
Pen, so
not.
that way I have outlines, and that way you can color it in, and you know where you're not going over the old original piece, which is the background. You can just erase that part around it, if that makes sense, around the lines. So I just do that. Then I'll just, I'll draw my characters in between like you normally draw a character. You just do the outlines first in different colors, very light. You erase it, and then you go over it over and again and again. I go over it usually twice before I get like the perfect shape of what I want, and then I'll just put it over top, delete the background, and color it in, man. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I do this.
It's a bit of a process, but it works for me. It's just how I do it.
Did you see the thing that I did for Mark Borison? Shout out
Yeah,
to that
it was
dude.
fucking awesome.
He had me do a fuck ranch. Like, he hates ranch out the bottle. Like, not the homemade shit, but out the bottle. And I was desperate, so he was like, yeah, I'll just donate you $50. And I was like, nah, dude, I want to do, like, I'm not just trying to mooch people's money. Like, let me make you
I'm gonna
something.
work on something.
He's like, all right, how about me just, like,
He
in a
wanted
fist
to
fight
pay
with
you
ranch? Yeah, he's a solid dude. Shout outs to Mark Borison. Check out his page, The Mark. He's always doing like acting shit and like videos on YouTube and stuff like that. Solid dude. I'm sure we'll get him back on the podcast whenever. He's a busy man, but we'll try to get him back on the podcast. Go check out his early episodes, see what he's doing and whatnot. But
He's
yeah,
always doing something.
it's if you want to check it out, just go to my page on Facebook or whatever. I post all my drawings. I don't post on my art page. I see people go there all the time, and I probably should, but I just don't. I
Yeah,
don't
post
keep
some
up with
shit,
it.
man. Dude, when you get this all this time off coming up.
Yeah,
Do
well,
a
I'm gonna be
couple
taking care of.
drawings.
My son's about to have surgery, so I'm gonna be taking care of a
I
kid
know.
that just got surgery. But I'm sure there'll be time when he's asleep. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll start posting to that.
You're
But
just
it's
gonna have a lot of time.
it's a boxing match where Mark is like slamming a bottle of personified ranch in the face. Like it's a bottle of ranch with arms and shit like that, with the ranch's tooth getting knocked out and ranch dressing spilling out of the bottle.
But ranch.
But for that, I took a bottle of ranch. Like I drew Mark, and I used the body of a boxer by the name of Butterbean. You might have seen him in the fucking
That dude slams.
yeah, in the Jackass thing. I was like, this would be a good Mark Borison body type, and I just put hair on that. So I used a pose of him knocking him out, and then I just I took a picture of a ranch bottle upstairs, like at the angle that I wanted it, and I did a similar thing to what you do, and I did do a preliminary drawing on. I think it's easier to start your drawings, like sketch them out first and take a picture of them, and then upload it to Procreate and draw over that, because Procreate can be kind of a pain in the ass to fucking just draw from scratch on, unless you're digital
Totally.
painting. Like if you're trying to do intense line work, it's a pain in the balls. For like digital painting, it's great because you're covering it all up and smudging it, and it's a long process. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. But I was trying to do illustrative style, and I realized I'm gonna have to draw this fucker out first. And then I didn't like the way my ranch looked, so I just grabbed a bottle of ranch, angled it the right way, and I was like, I'm not drawing out all this Hidden Valley. Spoiler alert, artists trace shit sometimes. I was like, I'm not drawing from scratch the Hidden Valley at an angle. I'm just literally going to trace this fucking picture and call it a day. I'm not tracing the whole picture, So I was like...
Usually, I like to do, like, when I was saying earlier, it's like, I like when people ask me to do stuff that isn't pop culture, because, I mean, I like doing that stuff because I think it's fun, and I like that. I like that shit. But when I get to really do some interesting stuff, I think of myself like, I really like, I know it sounds kind of lame, I like drawing these like robotic girls kind of, and I just finished one up I'm going to post tomorrow.
Do a series.
Yeah, I've been doing like a series, like I'll just do these like kind of like they're suspended in animation, or they're looking off in some crazy warped reality or something, or they're floating. You guys have seen it. But I use models that I'll see online. I'll just do stock photos, and I'll just trace them, and I'll just put them in my piece and center them, and then I'll just add other shit to them. Like I'll use them as like a rough background. It's not like I have someone like modeling. Sometimes tracing is like the best way to go about it. If you have like a specific vision, and you know what you're gonna draw, you still need to make sure it's angled perfectly. Or,
I listened to
I mean?
Drew Struzan, the guy that did like all the Star Wars, every Star Wars poster that's ever came out, minus the new trilogy, because fuck Disney. the Indiana Jones posters, like every single like famous The Thing movie poster, every single famous movie poster you've ever seen, this man's drawn. And then he got to a point in the documentary where they were asking him about tracing stuff, and he's like, yeah, of course I trace stuff. What are you talking about? He's like, I take the pictures myself, so those are my stock photos that I'm taking, and then I'll put them in the projector and trace right over them. He was like, but I'm not tracing color and shading and use of light and all these techniques that I know how to do. He was like, the people that think that tracing something makes you not an artist has never paid their bills with art before. He's like, it doesn't make you less of an artist. He's like, I can do all this freehand, and it'll take me 100 extra hours, and I gotta pay the bills now, not tomorrow, not fucking in 2 days. Now I got a kid and a wife, and I gotta pay the bills. Yeah. And I was like, that's such a cool perspective on this, because it's like, yeah, you want to like get to that photoreal place. And then I thought about tattoo artists, and I'm like, that's half their job is having to take an image and replace it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I feel like
I've met countless tattoo artists, and I'm sure you all have, where they'll pull up a bunch of images, piece it together through like Photoshop, kind of shitty, and then they'll print it out and they'll just draw all over it. That way they have like their shape, you know?
General idea. And I think
Totally.
it's good to talk about that, because a lot of non-artists think that tracing is like something that's a bad thing or frowned upon, and absolutely
I don't think it
fucking
matters. I think if you're making something cool and it's, it's your style,
as long as you're not
fucking
straight up
go for it.
tracing somebody else's shit entirely,
Right.
line for line. Like when I'm talking about tracing, I'm like, I trace the figure of a ranch bottle and a logo. The rest of the arms, the boxer, if you look at the fuck ranch piece that I did, it's all the rest of that is my own, and the shading's my own. It's not somebody else's idea. But yeah,
They
the
have
series,
these,
your Robot Girl series, that'd be tight. I'm gonna try to. Some girl commented like, the next one's Candy Corn, and I was like, that would be a fucking tight series. But I don't know about just with Mark Borison. I might just do like a bunch of different MMA poses of people like
just people
strangling
boxing fucking
food that everybody hates, like black licorice. It'll just be black licorice getting the shit kicked out of it, like
If you
MMA
could-
style or something.
I think that'd be really cool, and you can like maybe you could probably
I
sell
fucking
something
hate
like that.
banana nut muffins.
Dude, yeah, I could just
Punch
do
the
a
shit
whole
out of it.
series of shit like this, and I've been getting art inspired again recently. And
If you post that on Reddit, you'd blow up, dude. And you'd get a shit ton of commissions. Any artist that's looking for fucking side money, go to Reddit, dude. If you go to Reddit, I'm telling you, there's a lot of like people who want to buy art out there, and they like that kind of
Dude,
shit.
Patrick, once you start doing your drawings for like band pages and logos and members and shit, that's when we'll get the bigger ones on our show.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm trying. I just started
Dude,
doing the
you'll
logos.
end up, like, if you fucking do a Bring Me the Horizon fucking logo and some like fucking Drop Dead quote or something, those fucking Ollie Sykes deep throaters would get that up the chain.
Yeah.
It would get that shit up the chain so fast you'd see it tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
Well-
maybe I should do Ollie Sykes deep throat and something or something like that.
You absolutely should. This is a great art conversation to have right now, because we're at 8:00 and our guest is getting ready. We've got on Nick Glavan. Give me just a second to get him on the line. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Cool.
Peace, bitch.
Yeah, we're
Boom!
good.
We're back, motherfuckers. We have the talented Nicholas Glavan. Give it up, boys.
Beautiful.
Nick's been on the show a bunch of times.
Beautiful.
I love having this motherfucker on. He's hilarious. Check out
cute as
his
hell.
tattoo art at Nick Lovin on Instagram, and go and get a tattoo by him at Shortvine. Hybrid image on Shortvine. Sorry, I said that fucked up.
He's got a sweet studio in the bag too, so hit him up. It's fucking awesome and private. I love it back there, dude.
I wanted to put all
Get
this
really
out.
intimate back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I'm going down there to get a Hanya mask on my birthday.
Oh, fuck
Can't
yeah.
fucking wait, dude.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's so sick. My girlfriend got it set up, like put a deposit down and like just let Nick do his thing, because I've been talking about it for forever. Like, I just want to give it to Nick. Like, Hanya mask, he knows what to do. I trust him. And he
It'd be
sent
great.
her a picture. She was like, I just have to tell you. Plus, it's your tattoo, so you should know. But and then he sent her a picture, and I was like, this is the most amazing shit I've ever seen. I was
Hell
like,
yeah,
this
dude.
is so much better than I envisioned how this would look. This is so fucking crazy. I'm so happy that I'm getting
Where
this
you
from
getting
him.
it?
On forearm right here, right in the front.
Dude, that's
Right there.
badass. The
Yeah.
shin
Nick-
sucks. Don't do that.
Nick, I need you to don't let him know. He'll know now, but when it happens, don't hide it. I need you to film this tattoo session. Okay, I need any
feels illegal.
evidence that he's gonna just sit there and cry or bitch out or Like I want it, you know what I mean? We need this for the show. I need you to record that.
What do you?
I need to get
I
fancier.
could come blast to that.
All right, I was getting all this out of the way because Nick has a whole thing that just popped off, and we're just gonna give it up and let him talk about it right now because there's some shit going down. Nick, what happened?
Yeah, so minutes before you guys hit me up on the Zoom chat, my girlfriend texted me. So like, this was something that's been going on for like a month. She works for a place called Lady Jane's. It's a hairstyle like place for men and everything like that. It's in Kenwood. So about a month ago, a sheriff dropped off some like paperwork to her place of work, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on. And I was like, "Oh, you're getting fucking shut down." She was like, "No, that's not going on. That's not going on." And like, they've been talkings about shit happening behind, like, you know, behind the scenes and everything like that. And she's been worried about it. Literally minutes before my girlfriend got off work tonight, her fucking like manager of her store, or district manager, sent her a text message, and all the other girls that she works with, and they were like, "Oh, you got to get your shit. There's some landlord issues, and you should probably all get your stuff because there might not be a job tomorrow," kind of shit. And
What
I'm pretty
the
fucking pissed off.
fuck?
As you
Yeah,
should.
I'm pretty
In the
fucking-
middle of a pandemic?
Yep. In the
Like,
middle
this
of
shit would
before
happen during the
fucking
middle of that?
Christmas. Before Christmas, like literally the month of Christmas.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
are you comfortable
this
saying
is-
I could get in severance for this, or is this like, oh, well, you're fucked? Sorry.
I legitimately have no idea. I would hope that my girlfriend's going to be able to at least get unemployment because of it, because, you know, this was just sprung on them out of fucking nowhere. I don't know if they're going to dangle it in like the fucking, you know, limbo zone where they're going to be like, "Oh, like you don't necessarily have a job, but you do have a job," so they don't have to fucking pay them unemployment. But dude,
Like, what the fuck even happened there for that to get even to that point where, like, hey, you need to get the fuck out? Because let's say your house gets foreclosed on. You have like a year almost before you get the fuck out. So, like, how bad was the situation? That's crazy.
so
What the
my
fuck, man?
my assumption is the stingy fuck that was running the place didn't pay rent through the pandemic or some shit, which is horseshit because it's a corporate company, meaning that he definitely got government aid. But like on top of that, like dude just wasn't paying rent or something, because if it's a landlord issue, that means that they're not paying rent. So this is all just kind of like speculation kind of shit. To be honest, I know some stuff that I don't want to divulge, but at the same time, like, yeah, it's probably a rent situation. If that's the case, like he just fucked everybody who works at the salon out of their job for no
With
reason.
no
That's crazy.
For
warning.
the fact
And
that he's a greedy fuck and wanted to make as much money off of them as possible until he had to close the doors.
they knew this shit was
Allegedly.
going down too. My girlfriend just got her hair done by her. This is how no notice that they did it to her. My fiance. I keep fucking that up. My fiance just got her hair done by Mariah. Like, I mean, it was a couple hours ago. Today, that's how no notice that they've done this to her.
That's
fucking
crazy.
horrible.
What the fuck, man? What kind of evil
And there's a-
shit is that?
Well, there's a huge
Fucking
proceeding they have to go down
goddamn.
through with all this before they evict somebody. So for them to be like, you have to get your shit because there might not be a job tomorrow, means they've known about this for months, like for
Yeah.
at least a month.
Yeah.
If not months plural.
Dude,
Like, it doesn't just.
this has to have been going on for probably over a year for that to be so bad. We're like, hey, get the fuck out.
It's happening
because
tomorrow.
It's about to be. It's closing. It's done. Like, we've gone as
Yep.
far as we can.
The district
We
manager-
forgot about the eviction notices. We skipped the next one, and the one after that, I didn't go to court. It's gone. We get the fuck out.
There's a whole
You have to go
process.
through so much steps
Well,
to get
that
to
was
that
a-
point.
That was the thing, dude. Like a fucking sheriff showed up with paperwork. Like that's
Yeah.
not a, and that
That
was
means
like
that-
a month ago.
The landlord wasn't even. I bet that landlord was totally squatting. Or the person who was running the shop totally squatting the whole time. Like it was they were waiting until the very last moment where it was like no longer legal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it's fucked up. And that like putting other people's livelihoods in jeopardy during a pandemic before the fucking holidays like that. Like if I knew who this guy was, I'd go to his house and break his fucking kneecaps.
Yeah.
Like,
You just got like a new place too, didn't you?
yeah.
Fuck,
Like,
man.
thankfully, like we paid rent today. We made rent and everything, and like everything's hunky dory. Our bills are taken care of. But it's like now she has a whole fucking month where she's gonna have to try to find a new job and try to figure shit out. And it's like
Yeah.
right before the fucking holidays. Like, what kind of fucking masochistic piece of shit are you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
That's
or
really
sadism.
terrible. I'm
Seriously,
sorry to hear
it's-
about
it's
that.
really fucked up. Super selfish. And that just shows how fucked up like just the people that own like businesses can kind of be. You
Just
know,
don't
it's just so
fuck
fucked
their
up.
employees whatsoever. It was like, yeah, they'll bounce back. Like, go fuck yourself. motherfucker probably lives in like a $300,000 house in Hyde Park. Probably has like multiple fucking cars. Probably doesn't have to worry about shit. But yeah, fuck the people who work for him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
real garbage business practices. I mean, shout them out so that they fucking nobody like if they open another one of these shops up, don't give them your money.
Yeah, dude. Lady Jane's across the fucking nation. It's a corporate fucking thing. There's multiple different salons. Fuck them.
Don't give them money. And if you're a hairstylist, don't go in there and buy a chair from them and rent a chair from them. Like, fuck that. If that's how they're going to do their employees day of, like, just, like, no notice at all, like, hours after your shift ends, that's, oh, man.
I'd want to beat someone up,
literally
dude.
minutes before my girlfriend gets off work. Like,
Jesus.
told her the last second.
Oh, man,
So,
that's got me choked
Is she
up
there
for
right
you.
now?
Nice, man.
Is she there right now?
yeah, she's packing up her stuff. She's bringing everything home. She was like, I'm about to have a panic attack. I was like, you're a good stylist. You have clientele. Don't be too scared. As long as you can find somebody to house you, like, you'll be okay. But
Yeah.
that is fucking shitty to have to deal with that at the last second on your day of work.
It's
Like,
got to be
yeah.
so hard to find a haircut place that is like accepting people too, considering it is a pandemic. You know, I feel for you, dude. That's fucking crazy.
yeah.
Fuck that company. Whoever runs that company is just an evil person.
I'm with Nick on this. If I knew the motherfucker that did that, I would come to that dude's house. If that affected Allie like that, fuck that guy.
I know some
I'm not
people who
saying
are-
go do that. I'm just saying.
Situation, to be totally honest with you, if I really wanted to go that far with it, but I'd have to put up some money to make that shit happen. But,
Gotta have
Yeah.
bail ready. Gotta have Mariah's rent ready. There's gonna be some court fees, a couple lawyers.
I mean, is that something you can pursue legal action on because there's like no notice, or is it like an at-will company where it's like, hey, we can let you go whenever the fuck we want for any reason we want, kind of shit?
Unfortunately, in the state of Ohio, they can literally get rid of you whenever the fuck they want for whatever they want, and they don't have to give you any reason for it.
So stupid.
So that is unfortunately the way Ohio business works, but it's the reality of the situation. Like, they can fire you. Honestly, like, a company in Ohio could fire you for being gay and not give you a reason, and that could be the reason, and they don't have to divulge that whatsoever.
Jesus.
God,
just
that's crazy.
Yep, this is bullshit.
Well, is there
But like
any-
I was telling Cody before we started recording, like, if for whatever reason my girlfriend comes in the room and she's hysterical, I might have to cut it short.
all good.
So-
We all understand. That's why I wanted to
Totally.
get all your shit out up front. That way, that like you got your plugs in and whatnot. And you were here.
Just say
At least
like
for a second.
pineapple, and then like we'll understand if the camera just cuts after.
Oh, I need a safe word.
Just turn it off. You don't have to say pineapple. What the fuck, Luke? He
It's
just
my
explained
safe word.
himself. If he
No,
cuts
I
off,
might-
we'll know. We know what happened.
What's your safe word, Nick?
Lingonberries.
Lincolnberries. Lincolnberries right now.
What is a lingonberry?
That's what they serve at
Safe
IKEA.
word.
Oh, Jesus
No, I might
Christ.
even just let her go crazy and fucking like come in here and rant if she really.
I was gonna say
Throw her
that's
on
why I
the
was asking
podcast.
if she was there. Like, does she want to come on and talk some shit and tell us the juicy deeds?
She might be
I would
worked up, dude.
gladly entertain that, but I'd have to be like, all right, babe, you got to say allegedly. You got to be very vague. You can't give any kind of. 'Cause
Act
there
like
was
you don't know
the-
people's
because
names.
Because allegedly,
Because Cody doesn't edit these things at all, and he won't take that out for you.
I
Never.
will. No,
no, he wouldn't.
this is
Not in a
different.
Put in
million
the intro.
years.
This is different, and they're my friends. It's if it's just some
Or
person that I've
put in
never
the
met before.
intro.
Fuck, I'm not gonna do that. But like,
He's like talking like, oh, these are my friends, but like we're his friends too, and they won't put the intro in. And
oh fuck you guys! I put the intro in the last several times. Nick, who was the
I guess so.
asshole
Probably
of TNB?
begrudgingly.
Was it ever
guess-
you? Were any of you guys assholes on TNB? Like, was there a behind the scenes
Aw,
asshole that
kid.
nobody talked about?
Yeah, that's Dizzy. This is my new child. She wants to say hi.
Oh,
She's the
very
smallest
cute.
black metal princess. She looks like she's in a bath.
What's
You
going
can tell
on,
by the
blood?
face paint.
Hi, Dizzy.
Always gets on your shoulder like a parrot
yeah.
cat.
Has she been
all the
fucking
time.
shit up? Have your cats been just destroying like your couches and stuff like that?
They have been ruining this entire apartment, but it's all stuff.
Pissing on stuff.
But yeah, no, I kind of lost where we were at.
That's all right. No, my
I was
mom has
drinking
a.
little bit before I got on here.
That's all right. My mom's got a fuckload of cats. She's got a whole feral cat colony, and those fuckers destroy everything, and they murder all kinds. Are those going to be outdoor cats? Like, you gonna let your cats out, or just strictly inside?
No, never. So we're on the top floor of an apartment complex. So like, it's 2 flights of stairs to get up here. They don't know what the outside world even is, aside from being in a cat carrier and going to get dewormed at this point. So like, they're fucking insane. Like, I love them to death, but holy shit, do they knock shit off everything. They climb
Cats are
everything.
crazy, man.
Dude, it's all manageable, but it's really fucking annoying. The worst part is their fucking claws, because we haven't really like cut them down at all or anything like that. I don't believe in declawing animals. I won't
True.
do it.
Yeah.
Good.
So like
It's a terrible
I
thing to do to 'em.
can't bring myself to doing that, but I want to cut their claws down because holy shit, dude, it's like fish hooks.
You can get claw caps.
I don't know
You
about
can buy
that.
they look really stupid, but looks like they have little painted nails.
It does.
But they're
But-
little caps you can put on their nails and they don't hurt.
These crazy bastards will get them off. I'm convinced they will. We'll figure out a way to do it. But like the other day, Jasper, my boy cat, he hasn't been on the screen yet, but he's been fucking shit up, and he was bothering Mariah when she was putting makeup on before she was going to work. And I picked him up to try and get him off the bed and leave her alone. And be like, hey man, leave her alone. She's trying to get ready. He latched onto my fucking chest and dug all 8 claws into my chest and like raked them down. And the only comparison of like pain that I could actually like relate it to was when you ring like a fishing pole back and you hook the fishing hook into
Yeah.
your skin and then reel it forward hard
Oh,
as shit. Imagine that 8
Yeah.
times in your chest all at the same time.
Dude, I've been there.
Dude.
I got 2 cats too. And they're fucking sassy as hell. And they're insane. Like you said, they're fucking crazy. All they do is spend all their time inside. So I don't
they-
blame them for being crazy.
Are they malleable enough for you to just swipe up and like grab the paws to clip nails?
Sometimes.
Yeah, they seem to not really give much of a shit. I'll throw
Yeah.
them around and stuff. Like if they're trying to climb on top of shit, I'll just like chuck them or like scoot them with my leg. Whatever I gotta do.
dude, I was
They're
such an
fucking cats.
asshole.
They're damn near indestructible. They're killing machines. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about dropping them from a high height or doing whatever I got to do. Like, they don't seem to give a fuck either. They just kind of look at me like, "Bitch, what?" But
I love
it's too
cats,
much.
dude. They're the
I
best.
can't handle it after a certain point. We got a
Just
squirt
got
bottle.
We just got our Christmas
This is
tree
the
up.
this
They
is the
climb
fuck
up on
off mechanism.
Spray them right in the face.
Yep.
Put just a touch of bleach, just a cap full of bleach in there. That way they really
No
know. They
bleach,
really
just-
get the idea. Their big eyes are all stingy. I have a good claws in the chest story, but it's yet another story of how much of a fucking piece of shit I am. So
Big
we had this cat
surprise.
Bubby that used to get worked up super bad, and if you tried to pet him after he got worked up, he would fuck you up. The nicest cat ever, but I would just sit there with yarn, like he'd be going back and forth trying to get this fucking yarn back and forth, right outside of my sister's door. And I was mad at my sister for something, so I knock on the door. I'm like, "Hey, Carly, come out here." She was like, "What?" And I was like, "Go pet Bubby. He's just been over here looking all cute. Go pet him." She's like, "Okay." And she pet him, and that cat put both of his claws into her chest, and she stood up, and he was still there. And I was like, I have done wrong now. I was like, I feel bad, but I didn't know he was gonna do that. But fucking lying immediately. My sister's in tears. She's probably all of 9 years old when this happened, and it fucked her up, dude. She had some gnarly
15.
claws. Yeah, my mom had to pull fucking a cat off of. Yeah, I was a piece of shit. No, I was probably
Dude,
like 12
Can I tell you a fucked up story?
or 11.
So there was this girl I dated. Her brother was like one of those people that just lived in his basement all the time. Only
Basement
went
dweller.
upstairs. Basement dweller for sure. Neckbeard basement dweller. Big overweight guy. Just to give you like an image of the guy. So the only time he would ever go upstairs is go to the bathroom, and at night he was so scared of the dark that he would just bear crawl up the stairs or run as fast as he can, as hard as he can up the stairs. But they had like this litter of kittens at one time, and they would climb up on the stairs all the time to, that's just where they would hang out. It was carpeted stairs. They'd climb up it all the time, little kittens. But one time he got spooked by something. I don't know what it was, or she didn't tell me, but the guy just fucking bear crawled up the stairs and like crushed 3 of them. Just completely crushed and smushed them, and they didn't find out until like the next morning. And I was like, oh my God.
Damn.
It's dark. So dark.
Jesus Christ.
They told me in like vivid detail of what they looked like the next morning. And they had a lot of fucked up stories they told me about their pets or whatever. Like one of their dogs this is gonna sound really fucked up, but this is what I've been told by them. But they had like this dog that was just super old, like 20 years old or something, was blind, big ass nappy haired, dready dog. This is gonna sound so fucked up, dude. I did not see any of this. It's just what they told me.
Pat
But
murdered this dog.
The dog was so old and blind that they were just like waiting for it to die almost. And they were just,
Oh.
I know, it's so sad, dude. And like there was to the point where they They told this is so fucked up, dude. I'm not kidding. It sounds fucked up, but I gotta tell everybody because it's so crazy. They told me they left this dog outside for like 2 weeks or some shit. And they fed him and stuff, but it was just because he smelled so bad or something. And he was just so old, like they're just gonna put him to sleep, which they should have done. All right, I'm not defending any of this.
What the
But
fuck?
they left the animal outside and it still was fine. And so they came inside and they had like maggots in its wounds and stuff. And they took a knife and they had to take it out and stuff. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And the dog eventually died.
Ugh.
So the parents made the kids carry the dog out and bury it in the back. And that's not the only fucked up thing that they did either. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I never told these stories. It's so dark.
You didn't tell them because they're all bummers. Nobody wants to hear these sad ass stories.
Bummers.
Like, what
Let me
kind of
finish
dude
this last
with
one.
Your dog who's dying outside
It's
by itself
crazy.
for 2 weeks.
I know, right?
crazy.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. And then take a knife and stab maggots out of it. Just put this dog down, please. Mercy.
Yeah, like, I'll take it to the vet. I'll get it demaggoted. No, I'll just cut it out with a knife by myself.
It's
With
horrible.
no veterinary practice whatsoever.
Oh my god.
This is ruining my whole life right now.
Here's one more bad one from this family, too. 'Cause I got to
Pat.
finish off the trifecta of
You
horrible.
definitely
So
told
they
these before, and
step
I
on
felt the same
cats.
way.
They step on cats. They leave sick dogs outside to get knifed in 2 weeks. What else do they do?
God, when you put it that way, it sounds horribly funny almost.
Yeah, they should all get their ass beat. Like
Totally.
everyone in that family. Everyone.
Wait,
of
how
them
come
got
Luke
their
wasn't-
ass beat.
Luke, how come you weren't laughing hysterically throughout that entire story? Is it because it happened to a
Because I
dog and
couldn't
not a
give
baby?
fuck if someone gets skinned alive, but if it's a dog, then man, that's my dog.
You could be telling a story about how a kid got put into a washing machine and the see, look, he's already started, and the fucking washing machine first grabbed the kid's lips and then degloved his face, and then the kid's arms were twisted around like a fucking. See, look at him like a spring, and you just
Oh
keep
my
going
God,
with a
Luke,
baby.
you're
But you put a
sick.
dog in that washer, and he'll fucking
You're
tears will
fucked
well
up,
up in
dude.
his eyes. And he'll talk about kicking the shit out of these people. What is wrong with you, Luke?
Something's wrong with me, man.
You are
me
not
tell you
well
this last
adjusted,
one,
my
though.
friend. Go ahead, Pat.
So the last
No,
one,
I'm not.
they said that a cat ran away. You know, when a parent says, "Hey, your pet ran away," whatever, sure, it means you put it down or something awful. Well, the cat ran out in the street and got ran over by a car. So the way that she found out is she was walking outside and there was just a shitty newspaper over top of this wad of cat, and its arms and legs are everywhere. Like a pave cake, dude. Like a pavement pancake is the best way for me to describe this. And she said that she found it and she confronted her parents about it, and their parents made her bury it, and it was still stuck to the shovel. They used to scrape it off the pavement, dude.
Were her parents
Oh my
Lady
God.
Bathory and fucking the BTK killer? What is wrong with her fucking
Just
parents?
crazy.
Like-
Oh my God, it is seriously
Saw
fucked up.
Dude,
Saw Old Yeller once, and they're like, "This is how you handle all your pets."
I grew up with a friend. He had a dog named Gus, and he was like this little small black dog, curly black fur. And as long as I went over this dude's house for years and years and years, and he had this dog, Gus, just outside in the backyard to this cable, right? He had this like 10-foot long leash that was connected to another cord that went like 20 feet wide. So he had some 20 feet worth of like running distance, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't, but that was it. And he could run from like the doghouse to 20 feet away and 10 feet around in a circle, and that was it. That's as much freedom as he fucking got. And that he fucking stayed out there for like 12 years. And they kept him out there until like 2 years before his death. And that was when he was like sick as fuck, having
Damn.
like all
Dude.
the infections in his mouth.
You're describing what happened to Josh's dog, my childhood friend Josh.
Oh, that's brutal.
So-
Who, Sweeney?
Yeah, Sweeney. I didn't want to say his last name, but fuck it, it's out there. Yeah,
Yeah, no editing here.
dude, he would get animals, and his parents would let him have any animal, but he just didn't have to take care of it after the first month. They just didn't give a fuck. Like, all right, well, I guess the hamster's just gonna. I guess I'll feed it lettuce and never take it out of its cage for the rest of forever, and like once every 3 months, change the shit-filled cage. But yeah, they had a
Oh my
dog that was
God.
just it had a shitty doghouse that for sure was never upkept, and they just tied this dog to a tree, and it was out there for all seasons of the year until this dog eventually had cancer, and then his dad let it live in the basement on the concrete cold floors until it eventually died of dog cancer. And I was like,
God
I feel
damn.
I was like, can y'all just let your dying dog upstairs? I got mad at him one time because I was getting hammered, doing whatever I was doing, and fucking got all mouthy at his parents because I was over there all the time. And I was like, why don't you let your fucking dying dog upstairs? And they're like, I'd be afraid of having the dog around the cats. And there's the gerbil up here, and the dog kind of stinks. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you
Dying
let it
Chris,
slowly
not gonna
die.
take-
What's that?
It's
Nick?
so surprising.
I didn't hear what
It's
Nick
just
said.
surprising how many people are out there that just fucking abuse their animals. Because that reminds me of another time of this other guy I grew up with, and he told me their family told me about this fucking time where they had this cat who had a giant like foot from cancer and this open cyst on its stomach, and they just kept it in the basement all the time. And I remember being there once, and I remember I was staying the night, and I kept hearing like these ghostly, ghastly moans in the basement, and it was awful. And I was like, dude, what the fuck was that? And it was like, oh, that's our cat. She's dying. And I'm just like, I mean, who am I to say anything? You know, I'm just some kid, but I'm
It's
like,
weird, man, but there's people out
what
there
the
that like
fuck,
that.
man?
Dude, I just dropped $143 on both of my cats to get them dewormed because I guess the lady who like we adopted them from, like either she got them dewormed or didn't get them dewormed, or she got them dewormed and didn't get the mom dewormed. So when they were still nursing, they got worms. And there's people who would just be like, fuck it, they'll live with worms. Like there's people out there that are like fuck the $143 charge. I'm just gonna let them have worms. Like, dude,
Jesus.
your cat's
That's
gonna
fucked up, man.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say this mentality some people have. It's just like, I'm not gonna spend money on an animal. It's like, okay, well, if you're gonna adopt that animal, it's gonna be part of your fucking family. You should treat it as such. Like, don't fucking like just like, oh yeah, okay, just live with whatever.
Would you want worms? You know,
What? Oh, dude.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying people get them, but I'm just saying like, if you
Oh, you
wouldn't
can.
want it, why would you want your other family member to have that? It's
You can
fucking
totally get roundworm from your pets too. That's another thing that makes
Oh,
it
for real?
scary as fuck.
Yeah.
You can get roundworm from your pets. That's what they had. And like some people are just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll figure it out. Or some people live with bed bugs. Some people have bed bugs for months and months and months, and they just never do anything about it. It's like
Hoarders.
a real world thing. Like, how the fuck are you just like, yeah, just eat on me while I'm sleeping, and like I'll just live in misery.
It's so funny that you brought up that people can get like the worm from your dogs, because when I first got Den, my dog, I took him up to Colerane's Noah's Ark.
Oh,
for his
that,
fir-
I've heard actually good things about that place.
It's turned around apparently, but I haven't been since it's turned around. But Colerane's Noah's Ark Animal Clinic used to be a fucking joke back in the day and a scary place. And when I first took him up there for his first set of shots, there was this family, this dirty ass family. And when I say dirty, I mean like they're that kind of fat and overweight type of family where you can see like the dirt in the creases of like where their arms bend and shit like that. Like, yeah, that kind of dirty family. And they were talking about how they just got rid of their worms, and so, like openly to like the receptionist, because they thought it was like a worthy anecdote to why they were up here to get their dogs dewormed, and like all of the shots that they never gave them in the first place. They were like, yeah, we've never given them shots. This is their first time at a vet. And they're like, excuse me? How old is the dog? And they're like, it's 14 and a half. And this dog is like just dying, you know, like just trying to hold on to the remains of sanity it has and not go feral and fall into like the diseases within. But yeah, man, that was just it's brutal how and eye-opening how terrible people
I'll tell
are.
you how I
like
got
that.
rid of worms.
Ugh.
Oh, Jesus
Oh, I
Christ.
just got my worms. We need to get rid of his worms. It's crazy.
Him next.
One of those things I've never understood why human beings are just confident to be like, yeah, I've had them. It was a chore.
What of it? It's my God-given right to have worms.
They're gone now, so fuck it. I'll tell everybody. I
They're
had
like those people who are like who go out of their way to birth bot flies inside of their bodies because they want to like give birth to
Who
something.
goes out of their way to do that? No one's
That's a thing.
No one's
There's
trying to
that's
do
a
that, are
thing.
they?
That totally is a thing.
Oh,
Like, Your dream is to be a fucking member of the Spores from fucking Halo or some shit. A flood. We're like, yeah, I want to be the Flood when I grow up. Hopefully
That's
one day.
good.
Oh,
Also
holy
good
shit.
one.
Uprising.
Oh my god. Dude, shout outs to good pet owners. You guys on the first half met my mom. She, like I said before, feral cat colony, but she gets them all of them shots, all of them spayed and neutered, gets homes for them and shit like that. The ones that live inside, like, she spent money that she for sure didn't have on her animals. Like, there was one that she should have just put down. I was like, I got a sharp shovel. I'll take care of your cat. She's like, shut the fuck up, Cody, you psychopath. And it was like, she would go and spend thousands of dollars to make this. This cat sucked ass, too. This cat was the worst fucking cat. My mom was like, I adopted him. He's my cat. He lives in the house. I love him. Even if he hides under the couch and pisses on everything that we own, fuck it. I still love him. I chose to have him here. We don't just kill stuff because they act different. And I was like, fuck, all right. And then, like, he was pissing blood. So it's like, all right, time to kill the cat. Nope, time to go and fucking get him, like, special diet food. She's got 25 cats. She's buying him food to cost 4 times what the normal cat food costs. And when he's still pissing blood, all right, Mom, time to shoot it in the backyard, right? Nope, fucking back to the vet. Got to get surgery to get his little cat dick removed, which made him, I mean, when you wake up, you don't know what's going on. You're in that little cat carrier. Every once in a while, you get a shot, so you already don't like the vet and getting in the van. But now you get in the little cat carrier. They take you to the vet. They put your cat body under. You wake up, your cat dick's gone, and then they it's like, no, hold on. Let's go back and just kill me now. But no, yeah, a little cat dick.
He wasn't just neutered. They took his dick.
They had to
They
remove
cat
his
dicked him.
piece of the urethra that had been affected. He was pissing sharp kidney stones, so I had to part of the cat dick removed, and then the
Dude,
cat really
these-
started pissing on everything, and then just like he started going through cat dementia. It was fucking rough.
What the
But
fuck,
my mom was
man?
like, "Yep, another $1,000 we spent at the vet trying to keep this cat alive," and I was just like,
You had a
"All right,
eunuch
you gotta
cat.
end its suffering now, Mom. You've done everything you can." I
Dude,
was like,
the one
Cut the
thing
dick off the cat.
the one thing that infuriates me about these little fuckers is that they don't realize how much money and how much fucking energy is spent just to make sure they don't fucking kill themselves.
"Yeah."
And like they'll still attack your feet. They'll still fuck up
They're
your shit.
ungrateful
knock
little
stuff out of high
fucks.
stuff. They're horrible.
They're
I love
grateful
them to
little
death.
fuckers.
I love them so much, but I hate them at the same time.
Were you a
I
dog
feel like
person all the way up until recently?
The only time my cats ever love me is if they're fucking hungry, man. I swear to fuck, dude. It's like the only time you get affection with them. Like, oh, you feed them a little bit later in the day, and like, oh, then they'll love you.
These little motherfuckers will climb my bare legs if I'm doing dishes in the kitchen because they think I'm prepping their food. So like I'll be standing there in shorts and socks and they'll
Yikes.
scale my bare skin with their fucking little dagger hook claws because they think I'm putting food together for them and I'm kicking them at bay trying to do the dishes and fight 2 cats at the same time just so I can get through the day so I don't have any dirty dishes in the sink anymore. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to fucking feed you. I already fed you twice today. I don't need to feed you a third time. I don't want you to be fat as shit because then you're getting lethargic. Then you're getting that cat diabetes, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
My mom's cat had cat diabetes. It needed insulin shots and shit, and eye creams and all kinds of wild stuff.
And cats really understand that shit. They're all for it. They'll just lay on their back and wait for 4 shots to go in their belly. Yeah, no, that's a pain in the
I can't wait
balls.
until they're old and fat and lazy. It's gonna be my favorite thing in the world. When you're just laying on the floor and you pick them up, you fuck with them for a little bit, put them back down, they leave you alone.
It sounds like this wasn't your idea to get cats.
Oh, it was my idea. That's the sad thing. It's like I love them, but I hate them at the same time because they're not grown up enough yet to just be normal fucking cats.
You sound like you have
grew up
buyer's
with cats?
remorse.
I did. I grew up with multiple cats, and
Yeah.
they were all grown. when
I
had
did.
them.
They were already awesome.
I thought they were awful for years and years and years. But I told the story on the podcast once. But I remember I went to Jack's Aquarium over on the west side, and I remember there was one of those flat-faced cats, and they had like the open little areas where you can go and get the little dogs and cats and shit. And it popped its head out, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cute!" And it reaches its paw out like it's gonna touch me, and we're gonna make a bond. But instead, it claws me from my fucking eyebrow down to the underside of my right eye, and kids called me Scarface for fucking months.
Oh,
For
you got a
months, they
sweet
called me
scar on your
Scarface.
face and a
I
cool
was just about
nickname.
to
Yeah.
say.
Oh, you had a
No.
solid nickname and a cool scar on your face, and you're complaining. You should have thanked that
wasn't
cat.
like
I would
a
have
fun,
adopted
like,
that
oh,
cat.
There goes cool Scarface. It's more like, hey, Scarface. You know what I'm talking about? Just
They crave
wasn't
flesh.
good.
Patrick.
No, I wasn't
I
a
hated him.
Scarface
I hated
freak,
him for
Patrick.
years
I don't know
after
what
that.
you're talking about.
Dude,
Then
they eat your face. If you die in your house or your apartment, they'll wait for a while, but after they run out of food, they'll eat your face.
What do you
Without
want them
even
to
a second
do?
thought.
Not eat? They're like, nah, I'll go on a hunger strike
my
for
face?
his dead ass. Of course they're
Fucking
gonna
eat my
eat
foot.
it.
Eat my
For
foot,
some
dude.
reason, they start at the face.
Well, it goes from like, well, there's dad to like, where did dad go, and how did this giant pile of meat get here?
I don't think
delicious meat.
What happened?
I don't think cats think of you as
Yeah.
dad. It's not like a dog. I love cats. I fucking love them to death, but I really don't think they could give. They're just like,
Oh,
well,
no way.
if I'll
yeah.
if
they
I'll
were
get
bigger
pettings,
than us, they would eat us.
they're
Yeah,
like, we
they don't
like
give
to
a
get
fuck.
petted, so we will hang out while we get some pettings, but only for so long. Then we will bite your hand and then demand food, like when you're just trying to eat and shit like that. They know
Dude,
that they'll get food
Thank
from
God
you.
they're small, dude.
That's why I think
Bite
it's
me.
insane that like people will adopt like a Fisher cat or like a Sphinx cat or something as a pet. Because it's just like, dude, it's the size of a fucking spaniel. If you're not aware of what's going on, it's gonna fucking attack you and eat you. I know how bad these little fuckers will murder me with their claws and how bad it sucks. I could not imagine having like a cat the size of like a border collie in my fucking house.
It's got a
and
cheetah.
like wondering where it's around the corner or something like that. Like,
But
if it's hungry
Nick,
enough, it'll fuck
Tiger
you.
King made owning big exotic cats the new thing.
It almost fucked him up too. Like he almost shot it with a gun, like on screen. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, nobody helped him. That was comedy.
They're
Nobody.
just gonna let him die.
This man is being attacked and surrounded by tigers begging for help. And everybody's like, let's see what happens.
Like he's got 2 6 guns. He'll get out of it if he really wants to.
Like he's getting his leg fucking mauled. It's like he'll get out of it, right? He always gets out
He'll
of
be
it.
fine.
What were they
He's
supposed
got
to do?
fucking-
In their defense, what were they supposed to do? Like light the cats on fire? Like get your big cat flamethrower that you keep just in case? Like hanging out? Like what were you gonna do? Like, oh yeah, I better get in the cage with the fucking bloodthirsty giant cats that this fucking idiot decided to open a zoo. I'd be like, all right, well, he's
Tell him
made his
no.
bed, time to
No.
lie in it. Yeah, no, and spray your water bottle with your cap of bleach in it at him. No.
Me and Mariah have like different views on the way you fuck with your cats because like they're assholes. They fuck with you all the time.
Yeah.
So I think it's generally okay and accepted to fuck with your cats. in
100%.
turn.
Totally.
So I'm considering all kinds of crazy shit. Like I want
Get
an
an air gun.
fucking
Get an
like,
air gun.
Air Zuka. You know Air
Yeah,
Zuka?
I got one.
Back in the day.
I got
Dude.
one in my house that I got for my cats to fuck with them, and it's awesome. The only thing that sucks with it is that it is very loud, so the noise scares them before the air like knocks them off where they're at. And of
But
course,
still,
my
it's like-
big scary Doberman's a big pussy about it too. So
Well,
Dude, I would
dogs are
take
different.
edibles.
I wouldn't fuck with a dog the same way I would fuck with a cat. Because a cat is a killing machine. It doesn't give a fuck about you. It's just living in your house and you feed it and it kind of like accepts you as like, okay, well, you know what, you pet me, you hang out, it's fine. The dog actually wants compassion. Your dog actually has emotion. It loves you. It
Yeah.
depends on you. Cat doesn't give a fuck.
Totally.
If it
agree.
doesn't need you, it's going to ignore you and fuck off and do whatever it's going to do. So yes, I'm going to fuck with my cat. I probably wouldn't fuck with my dog the same way I fuck with my cat.
Dude, you
But
should
I'll air Zuka the fuck out of a cat. Not maybe not a dog.
you should just fucking
well, I'm
get
just saying, like it's so loud that the dog can't avoid but hearing it. I would never do it against a dog either. I'm just clearing that up. Just the cats. They're big pussies about it when they hear that pop noise. They're big
Oh,
pussies. It ruins the whole Air Zuka. I can hardly get it out now.
Your Doberman's adorable, by the way.
She's a big pussy.
She is cute as fuck.
She's the only Doberman that I've ever liked ever.
Luna's not scary. Or
No,
scary.
totally not scary. Dude, I ever tell you about the time I took her? We don't take her on hikes that often because she gets a little excited whenever there. She's a totally different animal outside of this house. She's a lazy fucker inside this house. It's super sweet, but outside she is ready to go. She is barking. She is hyped. But we went out to a park, and anytime we usually go out there, if she sees another dog, like it's like almost embarrassing how much she barks and yelps and shrieks like a banshee. It's awful. It's really embarrassing. The one time we took her to like I think Mount Airy, and this pisses Rachel and I off to this day. This happened like 2 years ago, but we took Luna out there, and she's got like a whole harness and stuff we carry her on, you know, just to make sure she's secure because she does run off. But some guy was walking by, and I saw him, so I moved Luna over and I held her in the harness, you know, on the ground. She's being super sweet, and the guy just stops dead in his track, and he's like, "Is your dog obedience trained?" And we're totally taken aback for a moment, like, "What? Yeah, Yeah, of
All
course.
right, bro. You're already setting up boundaries for my dog. You're making.
I'm trying to move the dog over so you can move along your way because we're in the middle of the woods and that'd be super weird to have a conversation with a stranger right now. So he sits there after that and he's like, "Make her sit," and I'm like, "She knows how to sit," so I'm like, "Luna, go sit." It's the one fucking time she doesn't listen and she's not sitting because she's so hyped that there's someone else there. And he's like, and it just walked by and it was just like, man, that really just.
Oh, dude,
Pissed
Fuck
us
that
off.
guy.
Like, who the fuck are you, man?
yeah, fuck that dude to
Fuck
death.
that guy.
You should have.
Why don't you say something?
Him
You.
and buried him and his bitch ass dog next to him, dude. Who the fuck was he to fucking command you to be like, yeah, let's see. How about let's see you suck my dick, you fucking arrogant prick? Oh
Yeah.
my
You and your
god.
dog
It was
sit.
awful.
Like,
Why
fuck
didn't you
that
say
guy.
anything to him, Pat? Where were your
It's like-
balls in that moment?
You're just trying to be polite and move this guy along. And I'm like, yeah, she'll sit. And it just, I guess we just both were just like, we didn't know what to say.
Nah,
And it wasn't like a guy and a dog. It was just a guy walking in the woods.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I would have pulled both cheeks apart with both hands and told him to eat it. I want him to fucking lap this shit up before I fucking make my dog sit. Who the fuck are you?
It was
Dude,
fun.
that
It was
drives
just like,
me up a wall right now, Patrick. Holy
dude,
shit.
I'm telling you, if you were in the scenario, you might, except for maybe Cody, I feel like everyone else would act pretty normal to this situation. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
no, I
fuck
sure
her,
would.
go
That
sit.
guy. That
But
guy could
after we
suck my
walked
nuts.
off, we realized like, what the fuck just happened?
I would have
And
been like Jack White and walk hard. I would have been like, "Excuse me, what? Like, you
Yeah.
want me to sit my dog sit? Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself."
Yeah,
totally
I was
taken
about to say
aback
for sure
on
Nick
the
would
whole
say
thing.
something
Yeah.
too. I wouldn't be the only one saying something.
No
like Luke
way.
would say something. You're the only one who wouldn't say something. I promise you. I don't
Dude,
care if we're in
I've-
the middle of the woods.
I
I don't
don't
care
know.
how
It
big
is-
dude is.
you
You're gonna tell
boys
me to make
talk
my
tough,
dog
but I know how
sit.
soft you both are.
Suck
Patrick
my
has
whole
made
ass.
it very clear. Cody has made it very clear how he thinks I feel about my dog. I feel very close to that. So if,
He almost
if
wants to fuck
anybody
his
tried-
dog.
tried to like fucking doubt my dog or like raise an eyebrow at its behavior or how I raised it, he can fucking catch these hands in his paws. You know what I'm saying? That dude can suck a dick.
At the very least, I would, in like a questioning tone, I would have been like, "Make my dog sit," and then I would have given him a shitty look and walked past him. At the very least.
I don't know why I enabled the situation. I just was like, sure, sit, Luna. And I felt like I was more taken aback that she didn't sit at the moment. And I was like, you're totally embarrassing me in front of this guy.
And then-
But who is
and
this
then you-
fucking guy? You're like he's
Exactly.
embarrassing
That's
you in
the-
front of.
Afterwards, it just like made sense to be super pissed off. I'm pissed off we're pissed off all the time over it.
You should be
But
mad
at
at
the time,
yourself.
At the moment, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just like, move along. I don't care. I'm just gonna be polite right now. Just get the fuck.
Would
out.
you remember his face if you saw him?
No. I
You wouldn't?
I feel like I remember him pretty vividly, but when it comes to like if I ever saw him again, maybe if it was just him and I heard his voice or whatever, I feel like maybe I might
Like,
know who
Not
he is.
even if it was like a sequel movie and it was just like a random cat and he popped in and he was just like, "Make him sit," and you looked and you saw him across the bar, you wouldn't remember what his face looked like.
I feel like if I heard those exact words right then, you'd hear that some Quentin Tarantino fucking noise going
like,
on.
After
Making
he
eye
said
contact.
that and you couldn't get her to sit, was he like, "No, suck my dick," and then just like
I
pulled
was
it
about
out?
to say.
And, like
Oh, God.
y'all both just slobbed on it. Just
He was trying to put his thing down.
Yeah, if you were in jail, Pat, you would be getting
His
a
dog.
you would be getting a swastika tattooed on your butt to know that that's some other man's property. Like if you let anybody do that to you anywhere else, come on, you're their bitch forever. There's nothing you can
Just
do
because he
about
asked
it.
my dog to sit,
He
I was
made
like,
you
It was
his
just
bitch.
such a weird moment, man. Totally. Hey, I'm pissed off now about it. It just at the moment, like literally as it happened, we were both taken back. Like, okay,
I would have watched what car that man got into, taken a picture of his license plate, found out where he lived, put a fucking gun to his fucking family's head, and then
wow.
be like, "Hey, how about you?
Oh, if I would've
How
been
about
like,
you sit?"
Luke's never held a gun his whole life, I promise.
Yeah, God.
What kind of dog did he have?
He didn't have a dog. It was just him. It was just
He
a
didn't even
guy.
have a
Just some
dog?
That's what I
psychopath
was
in the
saying. It was
woods.
just some guy in the woods that was just walking on the trail and whatever, you know. I mean, I have protection on me, of course. Like you guys know me. but it was just like
You carry a
just
gun when you
taking-
walk your dog
we
through
know
the
you,
woods?
Patrick. We know you stay strapped, cuz.
I
That's what
didn't
I'm
know
saying.
that.
Like,
I
I'm
didn't
not
know that, by the
concerned.
way.
I never knew that. I
Yeah.
never knew you stayed strapped on the regular.
Yeah, you know me. I
all the
keep
time.
this sawed off in my extra big ass fucking
Patrick.
sweatpants.
all the time, bro. Of course I do.
So I'll be totally honest.
course
I was
I
in the episode
do.
you guys did with the guy that always is strapped with all the knives and everything, and he mentioned Kershaw. And I was like, hey, my pocket knife's in Kershaw. I got a pretty nice knife. I was like, I'm strapped. I got Kershaw on my hip.
But
I have
I
a
mean,
series
you
of
just never know when
throwing
the fuck
stars.
Some serious would happen. But I mean, at the time, what am I going to do? So upset at his question that I'm going to pull a gun out the guy? Like,
Why not?
I mean, totally could have got away with it. Probably
That would have
because
been
we're
a
in the
pretty
woods.
sweet flex.
Dude, you had a
If you
gun
had
and a
that-
Why
dog.
don't you sit?
You
Why
pull a
don't you
gun out,
sit,
put it in
bud?
his head.
Pat had a gun
Put
and
it
a
in his
dog.
mouth. How about you sit? How about you fucking sit?
Put it right in his mouth. Why don't you sit, bitch?
Yeah, try and make my dog.
Why don't you
sit.
cry? Are you gonna cry? God, that's ridiculous. So stupid.
You have
But no,
one of
people
the-
have just problems with fucking Dobermans, man. Like anytime we take her out, like there's always someone that has to say something. Like I remember one time we took her out and some people who had fucking corgis came out and the first thing they said to us like, "Oh, I heard they turn on you."
Well,
Just like,
you know,
what are you talking about?
I don't
well,
know,
you
dude.
know
I
how,
have
like,
problems with them, too.
nowadays. Well, you know how nowadays, like, I mean, still to this day, like the pit bull is the dog that's supposed to be feared and dangerous and all that shit. But like that breed has changed throughout generation, and at one point it was Doberman.
Well, Dobermans were show
They're
dogs. They
guard
were
dogs.
like royal dogs. They stayed in like fucking castles and shit. And they like the dude who made them popular, he just like made them into lap dogs like forever ago. So like my brother had
Yeah.
Dobermans forever, and like they're sweet as fuck dogs. They're super tender.
sweet.
They're not aggressive at all.
Unless they
Laziest
have dickhead
motherfuckers
owners.
around, bro.
If they have dickhead
There's no-
owners, they are. Because I don't like Dobermans to this day. The only reason that Pat's Doberman doesn't bother me is because you don't have its ears clipped, so it doesn't look like a Doberman to me. That
No.
standard Doberman look, it scares the fuck out of me to this day because the dickhead next door neighbors built a privacy fence when I was a kid around every part of their yard except for our yard, where there was a fucking 3.5-foot chain link fence that was rusty and about to fall apart. He had a big ass Doberman named Duchess that was mean as shit. I'd be outside playing, making mud pies, fucking I'd be putting like Coca-Cola in a fucking glass to let bees collect because I liked watching the bees collect. And my mom would come out there like, "Why are you assembling bees and wasps in our backyard?" And in the middle of me doing this fucking dickhead dog would sneak up on me and just start barking loud as shit and like jump up on the fence. And I thought any minute that dog was gonna come jumping over the fence. There was one time when I was playing behind the garage and there's like a 3-foot path in between, and I'm playing, dicking around, digging holes, looking for rocks, killing ants, you know, shit that borderline serial killer kids do growing up, strangling a cat back there. And then this
Strangling
fucking
cats, you know,
killing
like,
moths.
cut my arms.
Totally well adjusted.
I'll tell you, I killed ants. I put ants through death camps, basically. I would bury them alive in
fucked
leaves
up,
and shit.
man.
I would kill all kinds of bugs.
Dude, you were, and you look like Sid from Toy Story.
I was a cute kid, god damn it. I had bangs too to cover up all this. I didn't just yeah, dude, I was super cute. But just murdering ants. And this fucking dog just freaked the fuck out on me, and I had to run all the way up. I pissed my pants because I was so fucking scared that this dog was gonna bite me, and it was like an inches away from me, and then that dog died, and they got another one, and it was even meaner. And I was like, fuck these neighbors and fuck these kind of dogs. So even to this day, I'm like, I know it's probably the same thing that most people say about pit bulls, but fuck Dobermans. I don't like them just because of that. And it's just so.
Yeah, I feel that same way about boxers because I saw the boxer that was next door to my babysitter growing up mauled the fuck out of our babysitter.
Oh no.
Yikes.
Backyard, and
You
we all
watched it happen?
Dude, getting attacked by a
Lost
dog
that.
is scary, man.
Tell that story. Hold on. What?
So like, okay, so my babysitter when I was in kindergarten, like early like elementary school, she lived in that subdivision that was off Ebenezer Road back behind the water tower and shit.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They had all kinds of money and whatnot. It was back behind Don Haddings and Circle K and all that shit. Her next door neighbor had a bunch of boxers, and they would just let them roam around the fucking neighborhood. But they were wily as shit. And they would always come over into her yard, and then they would trap us in the deck, like underside of her deck, like
Oh,
when we were out
God.
there playing and whatnot. So like one day, me and this kid Andy I grew up with, we ran inside and told the babysitter, we're like, hey, these like boxers were terrorizing us and everything. And she all ballsy and shit walks outside and is trying to tell them to go home. She's like pointing like, go fucking home, go fucking home. This dog jumped up and latched onto her forearm and just started going insane on her fucking forearm.
Jesus.
Was she bleeding everywhere?
Kitchen window. But dude, like blood everywhere. She was freaking out. It was like on. It was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah, that's super
Oh
fucked
my
up.
god!
Man.
How did she get the dog off of her?
It left her after a point. It got bored. It was just like, whatever. You're done.
Was she just crying, like freaking out, like on the ground?
She was like, she had her arm.
Dude,
all
her
tucked. She was
fucking
like,
arm.
I didn't give a fuck because she was a bitch, but at the same time, like she was rolling around like, oh.
Yeah, but forevermore, you're like, fuck that
God.
dog. Like, I don't care what information you give me. It's the same feeling when I get on an airplane and I'm fucking 3 miles in the sky. I'm like, I hate this. I don't care how much safer it is than cars. I would much rather be on the back of a motorcycle firmly planted on the ground than in an airplane. I don't care. You give me all the facts and statistics you want about Dobermans and airplanes. I'm going to not like them. I just don't fuck with them.
I feel like people are full of shit if they're saying they're not kind of scared a little bit about airplanes. I mean, I've been on like a fuck ton of airplanes, and I'd still get on more.
Aluminum tube being propelled through the air by twin rockets.
Yeah, it's
That concept alone is terrifying to say out loud.
it's completely out of your hands the whole time, and there's like turbulence and shit. I mean, I get freaked out a little bit every single time.
Bro, I
It's
used to
storm.
fuel jets. I used to fuel jets for CBG. I used to work on the tarmac, and I've been up close to planes. It's way more scary when you're up
Dude,
close. Side. It's fucking horrifying.
Luke
Those
did that
things should
job.
not exist in reality. There's no way that they should be able to fly across multiple states with that many people inside and luggage and everything. And you get up and see how fucking flimsy and crazy they look on the outside. Fuck that. Like I never had a problem with flying until I worked for CBG fueling jets. Now I fucking hate flying. The last time we flew to Denver, I was wasted the entire time.
I would have to be wasted
Yeah,
on
you have
Xanax.
to. You have
Xanax
to
or
get drunk
wasted.
as fuck on that.
Luke, what were you
It
going to
was
say?
horrible, dude.
Luke also used to work at CVG. Can you tell those stories now that you got fired, Luke?
Wow! Shout out.
Fired, I quit.
For being
and
a
that
drug
was
addict?
like 2
Yeah,
years
quit.
ago.
Fired for being a
Allegedly.
methamphetamine
No, I
abuser?
did quit. I had to quit. I had to quit because
He had too much
Why'd
meth
you
in his
do that?
veins, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna
Why'd you
pass."
shout him out like that, dude? You just throw
I'm
him
sorry.
under the bus.
I had
Sorry.
to quit at CVG because I was a crew lead and I was driving my crew's van to our upload, and a tug driver hit my driver's side door. There was a
Stop using all these technical
it-
terms. Nobody knows what any
I
of that
remember-
means.
I remember why.
Yeah, and so like we both had to be tested, so I fucking quit before they tested me because there was no way I
That's the
was
smart
passing
thing
that
to do, man.
test. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I
Hey,
can
man.
go back. It's
I
been
might
2
have
years.
I may have allegedly put a friend's urine in a condom and taped it to my thigh to get the job at CBG. So
Yeah, Luke, why didn't you just do that? Why don't you just go fucking get a?
Get Quick Fix.
I used Quick Fix for. I think I used Quick Fix for that job.
Nothing
Were they gonna
works
watch
better
you
than
piss?
Someone else's piss in a condom.
Especially if it's up against your leg for a long
Yeah.
time.
And especially when you snip it with a fucking safety pin and it gets all over your knee and you're like, oh, I had an accident when I was in there.
Dude, I had it worse, Nick.
Really?
I had it way worse, dog. I had my Quick Fix in my so I was wearing shorts underneath my dress pants when I went in to go do it, and I had the Quick Fix in my short pocket tucked in between my leg with the warmer, so it was staying warm.
Good
But
strap.
before I went in, I put on the nozzle cap. I didn't think in my head to wait to put the nozzle cap on. So I have it on and I have it strapped to my leg and I sit, and because the bottle is now like upside down and at an angle and the nozzle cap is on, it is now dripping Quick Fix urine like down into my like crotch area. But
Oh.
thank fucking God it's like these are black pants and I'm
How
sitting in like
embarrassing.
I'm sitting in the shade, and like the two other people in the waiting room aren't anywhere near me. I've got my legs crossed. The nurses running in are old as fuck, dude. I just ran right the fuck out. It was terrible. It was
The
terrible.
moral of the story is
Wow.
if you're going to make a piss test, wear black sheets.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
mortifying. Fuck.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
God damn, man.
All right,
Nothing's
guys.
worse than somebody else's pee in your pants, though. I'll say that much.
Does that happen to you?
Yeah, when I applied for that job at CBG, I had to fake a piss test. My friend peed in a condom, and I snipped it open in the room, and it spilled all over my fucking sheets. So I walked away from my friend's piss all over my pants.
Did you get any for the cup? Like,
Oh
did you
yeah,
have enough?
I got enough in there to pass.
Can you imagine the shame walking out of there without any pee in
Oh,
a
I got-
cup? And
Well,
it's just all over.
Covered in pee?
I got out of there real fast.
What do you
I have a
say?
medical condition where I piss my pants every time. I actually had to wring out my jeans to get you the sample that's here.
Dude, I fucking bet that's happened to
Oh,
people.
hold on. I messed up. Let me get the rest.
Oh, you guys need a
Fucking
piss sample? That's
no.
easy. I'm still wet from the car ride here. Just start wringing your shirt out.
I preemptively peed my pants in case this happened.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Well, I
my
was
God.
scared that I wouldn't have a bladder full of piss, so I pre-pissed my pants. I hope you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, I can squeeze it out.
It all leaked into my socks. Hold on. Just take your shoe out and wring your sock right into the cup on the counter.
I thought I was
God.
all slick. I was like, oh, I'll take the condom and I'll strap it on the inside of my thigh. It'll keep it real warm. And then I'll put the safety pin in my like boxers. They'll never notice it there. And then, like, I get in there, I try to rip open the fucking condom with my fucking safety pin, and it just goes everywhere. And I got the cup, I'm fumbling, trying to get it all in there and shit. They're like, make sure you finish in the fucking toilet, because if not, we're gonna know you faked it. So I'm like trying to get as much piss
They
in the
said
toilet as I possibly can.
And it's all coming out as one splash instead of a steady stream of piss. So you're going to fill your hands up with your friend's piss and slowly open up the opening of your hands to get enough in there.
Ew,
So it's a
dude.
steady trinkle.
The worst
Damn.
part of the whole situation was the job was not even worth it. I was fueling jets at 18 at fucking CBG for $9.40 an hour with no benefits, nothing else included.
So
I didn't
that's-
get Sky Miles. They didn't even give us a discount in the fucking food court. It was
So
the worst job ever.
So that's why you guys fucking sucked. Dude, when I worked at CVG, dog, whenever I had to wave one of you motherfuckers to come, like, fuel up my tug or our van, or, like, hey, this plane needs to get hooked up, like, you guys were just, like, deadpanned, nothing behind the eyes, like, I'll be there soon. Like,
I got
and
pissed on
no
myself for
effort,
this job,
no
bro.
effort, or complete
like
dicks,
prisoners.
or complete fucking cocksuckers.
We were like prisoners. We weren't even allowed to have our fucking phones out on the tarmac. You had to read books if you wanted to do something for fun.
You must have been the only one following that goddamn rule, because everyone on my ramp is fueling and looking at their phone. The fucking gun's already done clipped. It's already
Oh my
full,
God.
but
While
they're
they're-
just flipping around on their phone. Like,
While they're handling
"Oh!"
jet fuel, this is why I don't
Yep.
trust airplanes, because you got fucking dudes making 940 filling them up, like watching
Exactly.
Twitter,
I don't
looking
know
at
if I wanna
porn
fly
on his
anymore.
phone. Don't fucking,
I was
I don't want to fly
18.
anymore.
18 years old, fresh out of high school, making $9.40 an hour, fueling fucking planes for cross-Atlantic flights. How the fuck are you confident? Like, yeah, it's fine, it's safe, it's totally okay.
Yeah, never,
Wow.
ever once do I feel safe and secure in an airplane. The whole thing.
I've never flown.
Sketchy
I've
balls.
been too poor to have that opportunity presented to me.
Yeah, I've flown a bunch, and I hated every fucking time. There was only one trip to Florida where we had a couple connecting flights, so I ended up getting on 4 fucking airplanes, because there was like we fly from CVG to like somewhere in Tennessee, I think, and then to Florida, and then on the way back it's the same way. So by one Florida trip, I'm on fucking 4 airplanes already when I was a kid, and I was like, well, that sucked every one of those times. It was never not panic inducing when out of nowhere this giant aircraft, it goes from 0 miles an hour and it's slowly taxiing to, oh, we're going like 150 miles, now we're going like 700 miles, now we're in the air, and it's like, well, that was jarring, and then you feel that you're in the air in an aircraft that's moving side to side, and like your whole body's like,
Trippy.
I shouldn't be here right now in this thing, and I don't give a fuck who tells me that it's way safer. It's way fucking scarier than all the other shit that they say is more dangerous. Like,
Yeah, dude. Well, we flew Allegiant to Denver, and like the entire way out there, I was like, this shouldn't be bad. I've been on enough planes.
Allegiant
And then we got
sucks.
halfway through the flight, everything started rattling,
Oh.
like the fucking was coming apart, and everybody was doing that thing where they look at each other, they're smiling like, it's fun, right? No, it was terrifying. Everyone was fucking
I
mortified.
will say this.
It's that moment where everyone's like got that feeling of we might die, but they're looking for reassurance from the community. Like,
We're good, right?
They're like-
Reassurance from Greg, who works on fucking like foreign cars in his downtime.
They tell you to look at the hostess. If you look at the hostess and she's not making a face, you're fine. But you go back there and look at the girl that's running down the aisleway. She's just burying her face and crying. It's like, well, we're all going down.
no, she's not burying her face. You can't find her because she's strapped in her seat.
Getting a parachute on.
What are you gonna say, Pat?
Well, I was gonna say, like, anytime I've ever been on a plane, and I always, you kind of like creep around all the people around you because it's weird having this many random people so close to you, and almost everyone's reading fucking the Bible. They're reading the Bible, or they're reading some fucking verse on their phone, or they have a Bible where they're highlighting verses and stuff.
They are?
I'm not kidding you. All the time.
That's never happened.
all the time.
Gross, dude.
And
Fuck
every
the
single
Bible,
time
man.
I'm in the plane, and I say something to Rachel all the time about it, and yeah, it's super weird. It's strange as hell. And then there's people who fucking clap at the end, which now I feel like after what your guys are telling me seems kind of necessary. Like,
if I walked onto a plane and a woman was reading Bible verses, I'd get up in her face and be like, "You need to fucking stop that shit. There's children on this fucking flight, freaking everybody out. Stop praying to your God or whoever it might be. You're scaring the shit out of all of us who don't believe."
I saw a fucking video yesterday on an airplane. This girl was like sitting in her chair in the plane, and she's got a screen in front of her, or what would be, but the girl who's sitting in front of her has her hair draped over the back of her chair and covering her screen, being a real bitch about it. And she keeps flicking her hair back like over and over again obnoxiously to like make sure she's got her hair in this bitch's fucking way. So the girl who's sitting behind her, who's supposed to be getting shitted on by the girl up front, is just like cramming like chewing stick of gum into her mouth one after the other, just wadding it up and then matting it in this bitch's hair and just knotting it all up. and then she, like, when she's done with the gum, she's got like this fat ass like blow pop in her mouth, grape flavored with the grape gum inside, you know, just sucking on it mean while she's making sure the wads of gum are in there real good. She takes out the sucker, pop, and just flops it in there, rolls the hair up, and just hangs out and lets this bitch have a bunch of gum and suckers in her hair. she keeps flicking her hair back, and then like you hear it, and someone who's recording this, the person who's recording this is like 4 or 5 rows behind. But from this flick, you could hear the sucker like clack onto the screen that she's covering, and you can tell like that's when she starts to figure out like things aren't right. Like she's starting to turn around and feel like her hair's being messed with, and then she like runs her fingers through her hair once, and that's when she feels something. She gets right the fuck up, starts running like to the bathroom, and that's when the video cuts. And I was like, oh, I wish I could have seen the blowout from this.
Dude,
I would have finished that shit off and just closed it in the fold down tray.
Did you guys see the Did you guys see the video of the guy that's like, I hate that they don't serve steak on my flights ever. So he walks to the bathroom, closes the door, lights a candle in the toilet, puts like a fucking aluminum pan down, fries a steak, makes like a sauce, and then comes out of the bathroom with a whole fucking steak, and then he's filming so you can see that he's on an actual airplane that's in the sky moving. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. And the last thing says like, let's see if they take my ability to fly away. I'm like, you're gonna go to Guantanamo Bay, man. What are you doing?
He's got one of those like weird little like petroleum plasma candle things that they used for like a hot plate or whatever. He puts in the fucking toilet.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was like, is this fucking real? It's got to be clever editing because he puts his whole ass name on there. It's not like a fake name. It's like a real dude's name. I'm like, you're a fucking psychopath. You're lighting. That dude does not rule. If that guy was on my plate, I would stomp his face to death.
Rules.
Dude, I want to know how he got
God.
a piece of raw meat through fucking TSA. Like, why do you have
Exactly.
That's a good question. Oh my god.
That's my lucky meat. I always keep it whenever I fly.
Or that fucking the candle thing. Like, how the fuck did they not stop him for the like the petroleum candle thing? Like, that's a very definite fire hazard.
It's a
You're
fucking
a
candle.
vacuum.
Oh my
I
god.
admire this man.
I guess they Oh man, he's such a fucking psychopath. All right, guys, we're at an hour. Nick, do you want to do the next half, which is going to be Patreon only, or you want to get out of here? Totally up to
I
you.
can go for a little bit. I mean, Mariah's not home yet. She must be like powwowing with her fucking coworkers and talking shit, which I totally understand. So I'll hang out for a little bit.
Right on. And if she wants to hop on, she's totally welcome to. We're going to do the ads real quick. We'll take a fast break, and then we'll get on the Patreon. This episode, as all episodes...
Yes.
Right on. This episode, as all episodes, is sponsored by Luke shaking his head no. What's wrong, Luke? Everything all right?
Not first.
Oh, okay.
Paid first.
All right. Fine. Go. Come on.
Sorry, Mansfield, but
Now
he
he's...
understands.
Yeah, okay, go.
Daddy Mansfield.
Papa Mansfield. He gets
Get
it.
right. Do you want me to start? You want to go, bud?
Luke made it
Are you
awkward.
ready?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Figure it
No,
out.
go ahead.
So our first sponsor and one of my favorite sponsors, Hail Dark Aesthetics, at 720 Main Street, Covington, Kentucky 41011. If you go there, you can go get some cool shit like taxidermy, some records, some metal shit. They have a bunch of cool. They were posting like these cool cat scarves, which were pretty fucking cool earlier. But if you go there and you get any of this shit, you go to their fucking checkout line. You just say "Hail Bastards" to the checkout people. They're gonna give you 10% off. That's a pretty sweet deal. Like, shop locally for Christmas, guys. Go hit up all these sponsors we're about to give you because they're local guys trying to make it out there. They're the ones that need help out there during COVID. Hit them up. And wow, Cody, he's fucking what is that? The shuffle truffle over there.
My big ass fucking gut. God damn. Get off your phone, Pat. You're not going to take pictures of my gut.
No,
Piece
I'm
of
reading
shit.
the reads, bro.
Okay.
But they're open Monday through Friday, 12 to 7 p.m., Sunday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. They have a website coming. Go check that out once it's up. But yeah, Hail Bastard, 10% off. Hail Dark Aesthetics.
We are also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. If you want some quality glassware for your stinky cheese or your marijuana, or if you want some nice kratom for your sleepy time needs, you should hit up Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop is the shit. Awesome dudes. Quality products for excellent prices. And if you want to go to them, you can go to either 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249, or you can go over to their other shop, which is located at 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. And tell them that you are a bastard and that you are a listener of the Bastard Sermon, and they'll hook you up with a 10% discount.
Heyo. Last but not least, the main sponsors, Cody Best at Clifton Barbers at 337 Ludlow Avenue. Go check them out. Go hit him up, and he'll give you a sick haircut. If you go to their Instagram or Facebook at Clifton Barbers, you can find an Instagram account for all the people that cut hair there. But go check them out. They're cash only. They have no walk-ins at the moment due to COVID. It's appointment only, and they have online booking. They'll be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. through 4 p.m. Saturday. Go check them out. And Cody, go for it.
This episode, as all episodes, is sponsored by the amazing, the talented, the incredible, the Big Dick Wizard, Anthony Tank Mansfield. Go and check his shit out on his Instagram page at Neeltonoon, KNEELTONOONE.com, or his website by the same name. It's not .com on Instagram. And
I love that.
Go say what?
I love the Big Dick Wizard moniker.
Yeah, dude, he's the Big Dick Wizard. But he told
It
me
rules.
once, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna probably get sued for what's the thing? False advertising on the Big Dick Wizard part." He's like, more like the medium Dick Wizard. And I was like, "Yeah, solid." But what's up, Allie? What's going on? We're sponsored by Anthony Tank Mansfield. If you want to get any of his shit, go check out his Instagram, check out his website. He's got T-shirts. He's got all kinds of cool designs. He's got glassware for your beer drinking needs. He's got enamel pins. Hit him up for custom art starting at $30. And I think he's got some new shit on the horizon we'll talk to you about later. All right, that's an episode. We're switching over to the Patreon. Nick's going to be on it for a minute. We're going to take a quick break.
Hold up. Check out our Patreon. Be sure to check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
Our Patreon.com/thebastardsermon.
Give us money.
Hit
We
us
like
up.
money. We like
Give us
money.
your money.
Give us money. We like money. Give us. Oh yeah, real quick. I forgot to talk about this. I'm sorry, guys. Go and check out my little sister's podcast. But I'm a podcast. It's all gay related. They're both lesbians. The two hosts, my sister and her friend from Virginia, Katie. they talk about lesbian representation in the media, and they watch like lesbian related movies, gay related movies, LGBTQ stuff, and give their opinions on it. It's very different than the Bastard Sermon. They're very woke, so like if you're into that sort of thing, go and check that shit out. If you're curious about any of their culture, about how they feel about their representation in the media, I think it's a great podcast. It's really interesting to hear their perspectives. And they on the first episode, on their introduction, they tell their stories about coming out, and then after that they watch a movie and they break the movie down. The first one they did is I'm a cheerleader. I forget, Allie, what's the name of it? Yeah, but I'm a cheerleader. It's a movie about gay culture. If you're interested in that, I love my sister. Go and listen to her shit. It's on Spotify, and you can check out her Discord. That's all I got. You boys want to plug anything before we get off here?
One last thing for me. I just want to give a shout out to Star Silk. Ryan Carney, he came out with an awesome new album for a lo-fi project, which is kind of like this sci-fi. It actually sounds a lot like the Gorillaz if they were a lo-fi project. So go check out Star Silk. Orbital Beats, I think, is the name of it. It's on Spotify and Bandcamp. Go hit him up and check out that stuff. The album's awesome. Every song is a banger.
He also is letting content creators use that music as background music for free. Like he had just said, don't worry about like getting shut down, because a lot of people have to use like free music. Otherwise, YouTube will take it off. You'll get demonetized. You get hit with all kinds of shit.
It's Twitch. He made it Twitch safety.
A Twitch safety? I don't know how all that shit
it
works.
means it allows it to be used.
Twitch now with VMG and other music companies have been having Twitch streamer videos pulled, which is a big source of revenue for them, and they're being pulled because they're having their music featured at some point in the stream. So the entirety of that stream is then taken away from them for them to earn any money from it.
So they can use his for Ryan Carney stuff for free, and that's fucking awesome. So go and check him out. Who do we have anything else? Was there something? Oh yeah,
that's it for
all
me.
the patrons that we have. Thank you so much for giving us money. Like we appreciate everybody, all the sponsors that give us money, and all the people that hand us cash to do what we're doing. We're gonna try to spend that well and make this the highest production value for your buck that we can. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we love you.
All right,
we love you.
Taking a break. We'll be back.
Yeah, yep.